G'day guys and welcome back to Casual Rage. Prepare to start the show, R2. This is where the fun begins. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Casual Rage 161, where we casually rage out about the topics of the week. It's been a very interesting week, and I'm sorry I'm late. As soon as I went to go live, my computer decided to just freeze. So I had to reboot everything, get all my links back. Fucking annoying as shit. It was lucky. It was just lucky that I shut down the computer and then it allowed me to restore like all the pages that I had. But yes, we are here. We're ready for another Casual Rage. We're going to talk, obviously, about Gina Carano. We're also going to talk a little bit about The Mandalorian, Dave Filoni. What else have we got on the cards for today? Oh, I've got a very interesting thought on the Mandalorian Grogu movie too. I got to get to it because I got to show you guys how it's based. Anyway, I want to get straight into it. But anyway, we're going to talk a little bit about Andor as well. We've got some Bad Batch stuff to talk about and just some Disney stuff in general. And then we've, of course, got the Seal of the Week. We've also got a video. We're gonna watch one of Grizzy's videos. There's two there that I'm interested in watching with you guys. Maybe we'll watch them both, but I'll let you guys pick which one. We'll see. We'll see how we go. Anyway, fucking this shutting down of the computer, fucking really, I was so ready to go. And then it's like, you start stressing, and now I'm fucking stressed. Anyway, let's see who we've got here in the chat. Thank you all for being here. Please smash the like button and subscribe if you're not subscribed. We've got Miss J in the chat. How you doing? Corey's here. Melissa Lord, of course. Fear of FEMA. Mud Crab. Late and Star Wars Theory. Well, that's true. We've got Dr. Coffin Nails. Roll your dog. Roll your dog. Let's see. Baby Yoda is a prick. It's funny, you know, after he got in that mech suit, Grogu, this is, Baby Yoda, after he got in that mech suit thing, IG-11 suit, and the fact that he was actually able to understand what was going on around him and be able to say yes or no to certain things actually shows how much of a prick Baby Yoda really is. It's so true. LDT3 is here. How you doing? Star Round 7. We've got Nuisance Birds in the chat. How you doing? Jared's here. We've got Fractured Filter, who's going to come back and watch the replay. How you doing? Any word on that Stargate game? Okay, so because I was so used to playing with a controller, all games pretty much with a controller, and this game is sort of better laid out for mouse and keyboard, I started playing the game. And just so that I could learn it. And then, like I said, I was sort of probably, if I enjoyed it, I was going to stream it. Well, I didn't even get past the first level. It is too stealthy. You've got to be too stealthy in this game. You die too easily if you get caught. And yeah, so I thought I'll try the first level out. The first level is like, it's pretty difficult. But it wasn't that fun, to be honest with you. It's too much stealth. So I don't even know if I'm going to go back to it. It might be a waste of $50, but I don't know. We'll see. Maybe it was just the mood that I was in when I was playing it. I played it twice, and it's not that good of a game. It's just not that good. Anyway, we've got Mike Hill here. How you doing, Mike? Good to see you. Most of the stuff this week has actually come from Mike. Tyron Azilla's in the chat. Good to see you. He made it. Yes, Cell Shade's here. How you doing, Cell Shade? We've got Keely Chow. Who else have I missed? Tillian, Blake, and O. How you doing? Does the game have a journalist mode? The game modes were weird too, actually, now that you mention that. There was story mode, but then like the story mode seemed to be the lowest difficulty. The way that they laid it out was actually a little confusing. But anyway, g'day Alex, g'day Andy. G'day Mr. Grant Gregory. How you doing? He's got some good stuff going on, Mr. Grant Gregory. Obviously, his channel is like taken off. He's over 300,000 subscribers without being monetized or anything like that. But he's got some good stuff going on with other channels, and he's working with other people and doing some good edits and stuff like that. So he's doing really well. There's your shout out. And it was pretty genuine too, I feel. But no, Mr. Grant Gregory's a dickhead. Anyway, what were we going to talk about first? I guess we could go straight to the elephant in the room. Sorry, I was just reading this. So tried reading chapter 17 of Darth Bane, book 1. Unfortunately, the audiobook only had 3/4 of the chapter. So I had to put it on hold. Did watch some Batman Beyond with Mum. Nice. So that helped. Really? The audiobook only has 3/4 of that chapter? Because I've read, oh man, Darth Bane. What a series of books that is. I agree with Lethal on the fact that the first book is definitely the best. He thinks that it sort of falls off a cliff, I think, with the second and third ones. But I actually really enjoyed the second and third one as well. Nowhere near as good as that first one. Nowhere near as good as the first one. But, fuck, so good. I love that. I love that series. It's fucking great. I'm still on the X-Men, the X-Wing series. No, I did not say Siri. My Siri went off because I said series. Oh my God. Thank you. All right, let's get into the first topic that we're going to talk about. And it is clearly the elephant in the room. I did see that actually. Mike Hill for his 26-month member chat. Thank you very much. That's a long time, and really appreciate the support. Also, Ubisoft confirmed Star Wars Outlaws will be released this year. I did see that. Honestly, I think after Jedi Survivor, I think that's the last Star Wars game that I'm going to buy. I really don't have an interest in playing Outlaws. I really don't have an interest in playing any more Disney Star Wars games. Like I said, with Survivor and Fallen Order, the gameplay for those games were fun. That was the extent of the enjoyment that I got out of those games. And that's not enough. It's not enough anymore. And I must admit, I haven't had a lot of time for games. I've found it even hard just to make videos, which you've probably noticed because there's not a lot of videos being uploaded on the channel. But with my schedule at the moment, the streams that I do, basically the times where I've got time to do stuff, I'm already doing stuff. Because I work full time. I've got Happy Hump Day for the Full Aussie every Wednesday. I've got this show. For me, it's Friday. Obviously, for a lot of you guys, it's Thursday. So I do this. So Wednesday night, I do a stream. Friday afternoon, I do a stream. Saturday midnight, I do a stream. And then Flashcast, which is Saturday afternoon for me, I do a stream. And then I go back to work. So it's kind of hard for me to keep up with doing videos, but also to playing games. So I don't know. Outlaws, I'll probably watch more other people's reviews on it if they do end up playing it. It's not like the shows or the movies, though, is it? You know, people sit there and play them. I don't know. Man, if I don't have time to do any of this stuff, then how am I going to find the time to watch somebody that's playing through the entire game? Dr. Coffin Nails for 2. Did you end up going to Anna's wedding? No, I was invited and I was so wanting to go. I started getting everything organized. I got my passport because I've never been overseas. So I got a passport organized. I didn't even start looking at the visa stuff because I started looking at the cost of it. And with the amount of time that I had, I needed basically 10 grand to get over there. And it wasn't just to, for Anna's wedding. If I'm going to go over to America, I want to spend 2 or 3 weeks there, travel a little bit around, see different places. But yeah, for me to get 10 grand together for a trip in 3 months or something like that, it just wasn't doable. But I am hopefully, I want to talk to Flash because he's apparently going to San Diego Comic-Con, I think it was, that they were talking about, which is in June or July or something like that. And that's probably doable. Just got to see if I can sort out the funds and then basically organize a visa and stuff like that. So, yeah, 10K. It's not cheap, man. Flights alone was going to cost me, what was it, 5.5 grand? Just for flights. And then there's accommodation on top of that. There's, getting around, going to different places, spending money. It's not cheap. Not cheap from Australia anyway. So yeah, no, I didn't end up going. I was very disappointed. I was very upset with myself that I couldn't make it work, but it looked like Anna had a great night. She was stressing a lot through those last couple of weeks coming up to it, getting everything organized, and she had flowers cancelled, and actually it happened twice to her with the flowers. It was very stressful for her, but I hope she had an awesome Awesome night. Looks like she's having a good time. She's on a honeymoon right now. So yeah, she's cool. All right, let's actually get into this. So basically, if you haven't heard, where the fuck have you been? Gina Carano is suing Disney and Lucasfilm for discrimination and wrongful termination. That it's if you followed the story and you actually, aren't delusional, that's exactly what happened. I mean, okay, I got to clarify this too, because obviously, if you've been watching my channel, I'm no fan of the character of Cara Dune. I actually think that there's real issues with the character of Cara Dune when it comes to the continuity of the character, motivations of the character, and just where the character sort of, even from season 1 to season 2, ends up based on certain descriptions. And I've gone through that heaps. But Gina Carano as a person, I don't know her. Obviously, I follow like Jay, Drunk 3PO, and I follow I see it all, just like everybody else does. But also, too, just with the way that she is on social media and when I've seen her talk about fans, all of this kind of thing, I like Gina Carano. I just didn't like the character. But the way that she was terminated, the way that she was fired was completely wrong. Basically, what she actually did go through in comparison to like Pedro Pascal, who basically did worse stuff than what she did on his own social media. It was just the right kind of bad, though. And when I say worse, it's not like anything that Gina did was actually all that bad. It was just more, it was so base and common sense to think about. So the way that she got fired, the harassment, it's so funny how they talk about, actors being harassed on their social media or harassed off social media and all of this kind of thing. It's like, I think about how these Disney SEALs and Disney shills and everything out there talk about how, what's his name? The Jar Jar Binks actor. Fucking, why am I blanking on his name? Anyway, he got harassed. What's her name? Rose Tico as well. Or even Reva. Apparently where they're harassing these actors or being racist towards them or whatever the fucking case may be. Ahmed Best. Thank you, Melissa. But when we're complaining about the you could say the character, we're actually complaining about the character or complaining about something, the continuity or something within the show or the movie. It's not taking shots at the actor. Now, yes, I've taken shots at, let's say, Reva. What's her name? Fucking, why am I blanking on all the actors' names all of a sudden? Anyway, her, like, I had a problem with her acting. I didn't think it was very good, but it had nothing to do with the fact that she was a woman or the fact that she was a woman of color. It had nothing to do with that. It was just bad acting, as far as I'm concerned. But Gina's the one, because she refused to do pronouns. And when she did do pronouns, it was a bit of a troll. She was talking about the jab. She copped it. Absolutely copped it. Let's continue reading this. She is seeking a court order that would force Lucasfilm to recast her. Now, does she really want to be recast? Is this about getting her job back, or is this about getting compensation for what she lost because of their abhorrent behavior, like Lucasfilm. Because why would she want to go back there? Why, like, just take the money and go? Anyway, Elon Musk is paying for her legal bills because of his promise to support those who claim they have been discriminated against on Twitter. So if you remember a while ago, Elon Musk put that tweet out and Gina responded to it saying, does this count, or something like that. And they've come together and they obviously think they've got a case. And you got to think that Elon Musk and his lawyers, or whatever that he's got, you know, pretty smart dudes. You got to think, if they think that there's a case here, and just from the outside looking at it, you got to think there's a case there, right? She was discriminated against. She was wrongly terminated from her job. You know, I'm actually thinking, like, okay, so let's say they didn't fire her and she didn't find out through social media. They actually fired her behind closed doors. Does that make a difference? Does that make a difference to anyone? Because, like, I know for me, like, obviously Hollywood and that sort of thing, it's so different. You got contracts, you got this and that. Like, for me at my work, for them to fire me, I have to have done something criminal, like on the spot fire. I have to have done something criminal. Or like completely like inappropriate, like tried to hit on a customer or something like that and felt a customer up or something like that. But other than that, they've got to give me 3 written warnings within a 3-month period. So I've got to do 3 things really bad within 3 months and get 3 written warnings for them to be allowed to fire me. That's how protected. Well, I know here in Australia, I know that's how protected employees are. Otherwise, it's unfair dismissal. So even for me, even if, let's say, it was behind closed doors, I don't know, like, it depends on whether or not she had a contract. To me, it seems like she did have some sort of contract. She had something in place. If they were going to do that Rangers of the New Republic with her, she was apparently slated to be a part of Mando Season 3, and why wouldn't she? So they obviously had to have something in place, you would think. Hello, Mr. Bantham. But yes, she was wrong done by. The harassment was insane. Like nothing compares what she copped, from my perspective, from what I've seen, to, let's say, what Moses Ingram, Reva copped. I mean, that was bullshit already, because they had that fucking planned before they even fucking aired the show. The racist fans. Wrong done by? What's wrong with wrong done by? Is that not proper wording? Proper grammar? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, so what she copped was nothing like what Moses got, what Rose Tico, Callie Marie Tran. None of these people. I haven't seen it like that. And even with the thing with Ahmed Best, I mean, Ahmed's even come out himself and said that it was the critics. It wasn't the fans necessarily. Obviously, there might have been fans out there that had a problem with it. But social media wasn't prevalent back then. Basically, what heaps of fans were writing letters to Ahmed Best. Oh, you were shit as Jar Jar Binks. First thing I hear is wrong done by. That's right. You wogs all say weird shit. Ahmed Best should be roasted. Fuck Jar Jar. Funny as. So anyway, Gina, 100%, I think, from the outside looking in, and I'm no lawyer, I'm not that smart, but I would think she's got a case. I mean, I think there's a lot of people out there that would have thought that she had a case even well before, this announcement. Just finding the right people to be able to get behind her and help her. And that's where, it's going to be... This is the thing. If Gina was to go after Disney with a lawsuit, Disney would throw as much money at it as possible just to shut it down. Whereas if you got Elon Musk backing her and funding it, you've probably got a lot more resources to go up against someone like Disney, something like Disney. But obviously the cancel pigs are coming after her. The weirdos. You had Jacob. We also these are nominees. These are nominees from fucking Seal of the Week. These are the new fans that Disney have culminated. That basically really don't like Gina. Why? Because, it comes down to the politics side of things, and that's what I also hate. Is that these people are unwilling to look at the facts and unwilling to, I think actually Gina's been the bigger man in all of this stuff that's gone on the whole way through. And these people coming after her, fucking bullshit. Casual reminder that Gina was given the opportunity multiple times to retract her hateful, outright ignorant statements and delete her posts. Excuse me, sorry. Not just by Disney and Lucasfilm, but even by Jon Favreau himself. Really? Was that Jon Favreau, I believe, was trying to save her job? Wasn't that's what I kept hearing, at least from this is the thing though, is that stuff in regards to Jon Favreau backing Gina and Kathleen Kennedy, that was all during, I think, the height of the Civil War stuff. That stuff came from the rumor mill idiots, the people that make up their shit. So maybe he was. Maybe Jon Favreau was saying, hey, what's the harm in just deleting it? Maybe it was like that. I don't know. But that's not how I remember it. She didn't and was respectfully fired from the show. Respectfully fired. This is the delusion. This is delusional. She was respectfully fired. No, being fired respectfully would be, Gina, we need to talk. Can you come in and have a chat? Get in a room and have a chat with her and say, I'm sorry, we're going to have to let you go at the end of it. That's the closest thing that you can get to a respectful firing. She was fired on social media. How is that a respectful firing? This holds no ground and just reeks of desperation. I don't think this reeks of desperation. She might, probably all about the money. There's money involved, obviously. I don't know about this previous statement in regards to her wanting to be recast as Cara Dune again. Could you imagine her winning that lawsuit and then going back into Lucasfilm? No way. No fucking chance. Now, I don't know why Gina's... Because this is a quote tweet to Gina's announcement that she's taking them to court or, submitting a lawsuit. And this is how Saya responds to that. Spitting on the grave of Carl Weathers to throw a Death Star-sized hissy fit because you don't have the talent to make headlines otherwise. No, I think people if I was to get fired unfairly, if I was to go through some kind of case of unfair dismissal, I would fucking see if I've got a case, take them to court. It's up to them whether or not they want to settle out of court, whether or not they actually do want to go to court and just see if they can win. But why wouldn't you? These people are delusional. And why is her announcing that she's taking Disney Lucasfilm to court or submitting a lawsuit with them? How is that spitting on the grave of Carl Weathers? That's delusion. She's only asking for $75K. Is that true? I mean, I couldn't sit here with you guys and read through the thing. I'd fuck that up and I'd be all over the place and it'd be a mess and it'd be a horrible stream and you guys wouldn't enjoy it and neither would I. I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed. I'm not smart. You reckon it's more 750? That's million. No. You'd have to pay me $75K to watch a Disney Star Wars show. Yeah. Spitting on Carl's grave. Wow. That's it's a fucking this is the thing though with these people, is they say Star Wars is they sit there and they'll say Star Wars is for everyone. Just let us enjoy this stuff. All that's these people, right? And then when it comes to somebody like me, let's say, throwing my hat in the ring and saying what's wrong with these shows or whatever the case may be in support of Gina, whatever it is, these people are straight out, you're no Star Wars fan. I mean, I think these people aren't Star Wars fans. $75K and KK has to eat her ass. Gross, Russell. You could put that out on OnlyFans. So he just wants to push her agenda. Well, like I said, these people are consistently nominees for Seal of the Week. So it does not surprise me in the slightest. That's even grosser, Russell. Fuck you. So there's that. What's this? Oh, that was Jacob. Yeah. So yeah, they're basically, I don't know. I just think good on you, Gina. Do what you want to do what you need to do to get some closure on it. Obviously, it wasn't easy on her to be fired the way that she was. And it's not like she's an A grade, actor or celebrity to the point where, even for what she did, she got paid millions. From my understanding, it was like, 30 grand an episode that she was in or something like that. Wasn't that much. I mean, it's still a good little wage. But, if she was slated to do Rangers of the New Republic, and if she was slated to be in Mando season 3, which you've got to think based on how Mando season 2 ended, she was going to be a big part of it. And how much they were sort of building up the character. Not that it was any good, but they were doing their best. That's why I think asking for 75 grand, that's nothing, man. The lawsuit itself will cost more than 75 grand to go through all this stuff. So you got to think you got to be asking for more than that. But for her to be asking for her rollback is silly. Like, I can't believe that. I can't believe that. All right. This next stuff, we're going to go through a little bit of... Hang on a second. I'm going to move... Sorry, this is what having to reboot and everything stuffed up on the order of my tabs. So we want that there. That there. That's better. I think that's better. All right, let's get rid of these tabs here. All right, I think we're good to go. Yep. Hey, Ghostface. How you doing? All right. So we're going back to the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. There's been a little bit of stuff that's come out and been announced. Now, as we go through this, I want to point out this is what I've been thinking about. Is this, to me, was never really a planned thing. And I think it's pretty clear and pretty obvious, especially after what I'm about to show you. So this, to me, it makes me think of the whole Charmin obeyed Shinoy thing and how I feel like Lucasfilm felt like they needed something to counteract all the bad, basically, publicity that they were getting through the Charmin obeyed Shinoy stuff at the beginning of the year. And this was their brilliant idea to announce this. Now, maybe at the back end, it was, it was maybe in the works or something like that. But let me just go through this. So the Mandalorian and Grogu will be the next Star Wars film to release, hitting theaters in 2026. Now, we've heard this before. I thought that the Rey movie was supposed to be, and this was only like a couple of weeks ago, that it was the Rey movie was supposed to be the next Star Wars movie. Isn't that... Am I wrong? Chat, like... Am I wrong? Is it illegal to have a pet koala in Australia? Honestly, it's probably not illegal, but good luck getting a koala to live with you as a pet. And it would be the hardest fucking pet to feed. And in all honesty, you probably wouldn't want a koala. Probably wouldn't want a koala. Oh, Lethal Lightning for 2, Veil of the Force. God. You think it is illegal? I don't know. But this is the thing, it's like a kangaroo. You wouldn't really have a pet kangaroo. You'd have kangaroos come in your yard, but they wouldn't be your pets. You might feed them, but they wouldn't be pets. Yeah, Veil of the Force. That was a whole fucking narrative with fucking Doomcock. Using the Veil of the Force. It's called the World Between Worlds, you fucking idiot. If you're going to use it, fucking say what it is. Stop giving them a better name. G'day, Joe Dog. How you doing? Okay, so that's apparently this Mandalorian Grogu movie is supposed to be the next movie to hit theaters. Okay, so based on this, Disney is releasing 2 Star Wars films in 2026. So if The Mandalorian and Grogu is supposed to be the next one, May 22, 2026, and then you got December 18th, 2026. You got to think that the December one is going to be the Rey one, based on the fact that The Mandalorian Grogu movie is going to be the next movie. Now, this is my point. So that means that they're further along in making the Mandalorian Grogu movie. Why wasn't this announced at Star Wars Celebration? If they knew that they were doing a Rey movie, which isn't going to be ready until after the Mandalorian Grogu movie, then why didn't they announce this at Star Wars Celebration? And it's been confirmed that the Mandalorian Grogu movie is a different movie from the Dave Filoni Mandoverse movie that he's apparently doing. But they announced that, and that's not due to come out until after all of this. Even the other movie, who's the other director that they announced was making a movie at Star Wars Celebration? Oh, what's his name? I was going to say James Mangold, but is it James Mangold? I think it was. But apparently the Mandalorian Grogu movie that they decided to announce in January of this year is going to beat all of the ones that they announced at Star Wars Celebration. Interesting, huh? It just tells me that they either had this in the pipeline and they weren't going to release it until maybe the next Star Wars Celebration. I don't know. But they certainly didn't announce this movie at Celebration last year. It was the Rey movie, Mangold movie, and Filoni movie. So if they knew that this was going to happen, why wouldn't they have announced it? If it was able to stop the noise from the Charmin obeyed Shinoy stuff, wouldn't you think that making an announcement like that at Star Wars Celebration probably would have been your best announcement out of all of them? Would have got your best reaction out of all of them? Because for some strange reason, the weirdos out there think that The Mandalorian is some kind of masterpiece. Anyway, so Dave Filoni on the Mandalorian Grogu movie, I haven't watched all of this, and the status of the Mandalorian season 4. Let's have a listen to what he has to say. I'm going to have to reshare this because as soon as I plug my headphones in, audio is going to go. Let's reshare this. All right, let's take a listen to Dave Fucktard Filoni.
I haven't talked to you since this was announced. There's a Mandalorian and Grogu movie.
How about that? Yeah.
How about that?
How about that? Interesting.
Does that mean no season 4?
You know, there's so much spinning in the galaxy right now. You know me better than to commit to any one thing. No mind trick works on me. So, I think I'm excited about what we're doing right now with the movie. I think it's going to be great. Obviously, with John at the helm, it's going to be fantastic. And he's so well studied in Star Wars now. So he's got a great shorthand, and I love collaborating with him. So just excited to share the future of what we're doing.
I find it funny when he says, what did he say about John having a...
Great, obviously, with John at the helm, it's going to be fantastic. And he's so well studied in Star Wars now.
Well studied in Star Wars now is the wording that he used. It's funny. He's well studied in Star Wars now based on your Star Wars, Dave. You've molded him. You've groomed Jon Favreau and given him bits and pieces of bullshit lore that you've come up with. Twisted George's canon to suit your own. And you've given that to Jon Favreau. And I do find it's so funny how he says, like, the galaxy is spinning.
There's a Mandalorian and Grogu movie.
How about that? Yeah.
How about that?
How about that? Interesting.
Does that mean no season 4?
You know, there's so much spinning in the galaxy right now.
So much spinning in the galaxy right now. Like, you could look into that a little bit and think, you know, you've got a lot going on to the point where you actually don't know what's going on. Because that's certainly what it feels like. That's certainly what it fucking feels like. Yeah. I don't even know what more to say about that, to be honest. The Mandalorian Grogu is reportedly set to begin filming on June 17th. This is the other thing, too, that doesn't really add up for me, right? Now, I know that making a movie isn't like a quick thing. It's not it's not something where you can just, but if you've got it storyboarded, if you've got your story outlined and all of that sort of thing, and they're starting in June of 17 this year, wouldn't you think that the movie should be out in 2025, like next year? Like, I just, there's so much to me that just doesn't work. It just doesn't add up for me. And obviously, this isn't coming from the horse's mouth unless they've made a statement in like some Variety article and, different other news reporters are fucking just using that information. But this is really confusing for me because if they're starting in June of this year, June 17th of this year, and where was it? And let's say this movie's coming out in May 2026. It's like from when they start filming, it's a little under 2 years before they release it from when they start filming it. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense at all. Then there was this, and let me just read it. Logo revealed for the upcoming Star Wars film, The Mandalorian and Grogu. What a shit name too, by the way. Just thinking about that. The Mandalorian and Grogu. Can we fucking name a Star Wars show or movie something other than fucking the character's name? Solo, Obi-Wan Kenobi, The Mandalorian Grogu. Fucking God. The Bad Batch. Even the Bad Batch. The new movie will hit theaters in 2026. Currently, there are 2 release dates for 2026 allocated for Star Wars movies. May 22, 2026 and December 18, 2026. This is the logo. That is the logo. Woo! So special. Wow. I bet you they were so proud of that. Can't wait for the poster. Logo review. Yeah, that's right. But seriously, like, come on. That's lame. That's fucking lame, man. It really is. Isn't it? I don't know. It's nothing special to me. Oh, man. This can's been sitting out now, and it's fucking... Hang on. I'm going to just go grab a drink. A fresh one. Probably should have played you guys something while I was doing that. But it didn't take long. All right. Fuck, I'm so glad I've got Monday off. Got Monday off to watch the Super Bowl. Fuck yeah. I've done that nearly every year now for the last sort of 5 years at least, I think. 5 or 6 years. Because for me, it's Monday. For you guys, it's Sunday. It'd be so much better if you guys played the Super Bowl on a Saturday and then I'd just be able to watch it on Sunday. Anyway, Darth Ghostface for his 4-month member chat. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. I'm glad Gina Carano is holding Disney accountable for wrongfully firing her, and I hope she wins. So do I, to be honest. That would be a great thing, and it would be great to see the fucking weirdos like Jacob and Saya go fucking psycho over it. But I also hope she doesn't work for Disney again. Same here. If she does, I will lose all my respect for her. I'm the same. Exactly the same. Exactly the same. You got a public holiday too? No. For the Monday, no. I just took an annual leave day. I wish it was a public holiday. Super Bowl Monday. Public holiday. But yes, Ghostface. I 100% agree with you. And I don't think it's like I said. Could you imagine she wins this lawsuit and then she goes crawling back basically to Disney to play Cara Dune again? No, I don't think so, man. I really don't think so. It doesn't surprise me that Disney shill Jacob is also and SJW cancel pig. The fuck, man. We read out his thing earlier, his tweet about the Gina thing. It's a fucking idiot. And so that's Disney Star Wars fans. It's just Disney Star Wars fans. And you've really got to separate the two. I just want to make that clear. You know, you got Star Wars fans, and then you got Disney Star Wars fans. And Disney Star Wars fans are those new culminated fans, the shippers. And I'm not saying that there weren't fans of Star Wars before Disney took it over that didn't like some of the romance stuff that is in Star Wars movies. But that's not what Star Wars was actually about. And those people that did like the romance stuff, like the stuff between Han and Leia and the stuff maybe between Anakin and Padme and stuff like that, they still understood and they still liked the actual story. It wasn't just because, you know, they weren't just watching Star Wars because they want to see Han and Leia hook up. So yeah, fucking fake fans. So you got to separate the two. You got Star Wars fans and then you got Disney Star Wars fans. Because there's two universes now. You've got the Star Wars universe, George Lucas's Star Wars, the EU, all of that stuff, and then you've got Disney Star Wars garbage, which is like a complete parody and offshoot of real Star Wars. And then there was this, Hayden Christensen on the fan reaction to Ahsoka. What fan reaction to Ahsoka? Oh, specifically episode 5. I want to point that out. But we're not going to read the quote. We're not going to read the quote. We're going to hear it from the horse's mouth himself. So Hayden talks about the iconic Anakin Vader walk scene in Ahsoka episode 5. Now, look, I don't necessarily blame Hayden here. I don't like the fact that he's basically shilling for Dave Filoni. But you know, ever since Anakin, ever since the prequels, what really have you seen Hayden Christensen do? You know, he's getting his time in the spotlight again. You know, it's kind of those people that think that like Ahmed Best was bullied and stuff like that by fans, that they're the same people that are sitting in the crowds of these things thinking that Hayden Christensen was hard done by because of the criticism that he copped for maybe his dialogue scenes in the prequels and stuff like that. And I don't think that there was really any malice or anger directed necessarily at Hayden Christensen. Man, there was more stuff that got put towards Jake Lloyd than there was towards Hayden Christensen. Anyway, let's play.
All of the praise should be directed towards Dave Filoni.
Oh my God. Let's hear it for the master.
Straight off the bat, no, the fucking guy that's doing the interview, the master, the master. Fucking, let's play it. Master. You can hear him here.
Oh my God. Let's hear it for the master.
The master.
Specifically, the shot that I think gave everyone chills and was like, "Oh my!" Is the quick transition from Anakin's back to Vader. Did you talk about that scene? You know, shooting it and then kind of seeing it with after post.
Again, I take no credit because all I did is I showed up. I walked. That was all that was required from me.
But see, that's also too why I don't really blame Hayden, you know, too much for essentially helping destroy the character of Anakin Skywalker and Darth Vader. Because he comes in and all he does is walk and then they do the rest. You know, he's being paid to basically play the character in the way that they want him to play the character. I mean, he could say no. And if he had an understanding of it, a bit like how Mark Hamill had a very deep understanding of his character of Luke. And, you know, I think that came out a lot during The Last Jedi, but then he gave in to the bullshit. He put the handcuffs on and bent over the table and said, "Yep, Ryan, not me, Ryan Johnson, give it to me."
And the way that, you know, they shot that and they cut it together.
Sure.
And I just thought that the whole episode came out, you know, better than I could have hoped.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look, it was a good shot. That shot, it looked good. You can't say that it didn't look good. But its meaning? And this is where I don't know if, like, he really cares enough to see what the problems are. He clearly doesn't. Clearly doesn't. So anyway, that's Hayden Christensen praising Dave Filoni. Fuck off, Dave. In fact.
They came bounding over.
Fuck off, Disney, you fucking cunt!
That's right. All right, let's get rid of some of these tabs. All right. So I woke up to this. Does it resonate? Come on, man. Resonates with heaps of fucking people. All right. So I woke up to this morning. Empire Magazine is teasing that they're dropping Star Wars news at 8 a.m. Pacific time tomorrow. Now, I don't know what time it is now. It is 6:30 p.m. Is it only 6:30 p.m. over in the States and 8:30 Central? Okay, so this is a question I have. And I feel like probably Fractured Filter is going to comment on this in his long comment that he gives me at the end of every stream. While daylight savings is the way it is now, would it be better if I started a little bit later? I mean, daylight savings isn't going to be around for much longer. I don't know when it actually ticks back over. But anyway, would it be better if I started like an hour or even 2 hours later than I am now? Because once daylight savings ticks back over, which way does it go? It's basically going to be 2 hours later. This time is good. Big Rog for $2. I believe it's got to be a thumbs up, doesn't it? It's a thumbs up. Thanks, dude. Appreciate you. Don't confuse yourself, Rhino. Ha ha. Obi-Wan Season 2? Are you fucking kidding me? That's what it's got to be, surely. That's what it's got to be. Now, you got to remember that Lucasfilm, ever since they've been under Disney, they have announced a lot of shit that has not come to fruition. A lot of shit. Take these off. Don't need them right now. Man, to me, I don't know. This just seems like more distraction and more announcements. What? When are we going to see this? 2027? We don't need any more Obi-Wan Kenobi. We just don't. I'm so sick of them fucking playing in this part of the universe because they just keep doing more and more damage to the characters. Now, it's not to say that if they were to go 1,000 years in the past or 1,000 years in the future, they wouldn't be fucking it up there either. But at least then in isolation, I can just have George Lucas's 6 movies and fucking be happy with that, as opposed to fucking knowing now that apparently fucking Vader and Obi-Wan had 2 more fights in between. Who's going to be the big bad in this? Who's going to be the villain? Are they going to bring Vader back again? They're going to have another rematch? That Obi-Wan will have to win again and not kill him? Yes, no, that's fair enough, Sol. Sorry. Bring back Maul. He's already back. Fucking, they just need to find what story they want to fucking inject him into. Oh, but bring him back after the death in Clone Wars. Or Rebels, actually. That'd be interesting. How the fuck would they do that? So at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. So what is that for me? Oh, we want to just go here. So for me, that's 13 hours from now. 13 hours. So it'll be 3 a.m. for me when they drop that. Obi-Wan Kenobi Season 2. I personally think that they're going to announce an Obi-Wan Kenobi movie. That'll take place after the events of the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. And because when you think about it, they've got their TV shows slated, right? So we've got Mandalorian Season 4. They're going to maybe do a movie as an offshoot. Who knows exactly what the story is behind that. You've got Ahsoka. You got the Bad Batch, which they're doing their final season of. You don't think they'd do a movie instead of a show? They've been announcing all these movies. Movie. We're going to come out with a movie. It almost seems like they're desperate to release an actual movie. And they probably are. Because having this stuff on Disney Plus isn't creating any actual revenue for them. In fact, I think a lot of the Star Wars stuff that is on Disney Plus has probably lost them a fair bit of revenue. No more Disney Star Wars movies. Hey, they're coming, man. They're coming. And the only thing that we can do about it is fucking talk about them honestly. I think they're going to announce, is that Cara Dune movie, where she turns so evil that both dark and light need to join together to destroy her. Why can't I fucking say that? I lost it because I'm retarded. They're not going to do a Cara Dune movie. They're not going. She can't. The only way that they're going to continue the character of Cara Dune is by recasting. Gina's not coming back for that. Not coming back for that. Utterly. There we go. I said it. Thank you, chat. I'm retarded. That's Obi-Wan Kenobi. Andor won the Saturn Award. Listen to how this is written. Andor has won the Saturn Award for best. Man, it's such a fucking weird sentence because there's no fucking. Anyway, Andor has won the Saturn Award for best science fiction television series. Okay. It might be maybe the best science fiction television series. It's just too bad that it's not Star Wars. It's just some weird fucking series that takes place in a different fucking universe. Anyway, I just wanted to touch on that because it won the award. It won the award. So there's that. What else we got here? Oh, the Mandalorian star John Carlos Esposito believes his villainous character in the Disney Plus series, Moff Gideon, will return down the line. No fucking shit. No shit. I don't even need to click on the article. We don't need to read any more than that. No fucking shit, he's coming back. In season 3, what did he do? He made clones of himself and gave those clones the Force. We don't even know if the one that was killed in Mando season 3 was actually the original. Is the host. Man, all they need to do is write it that it wasn't the host, that it was a clone. And he's back. He's done. It's easy. It's so easy for them. Cloning has almost become like a multiverse. It's almost like a nothing matters. Just kill a character. Oh, it was a clone. Just kill a character. It was a clone. It wouldn't surprise me if they come out and say, oh, Reva, when she got stabbed in the Jedi Temple as a kid, actually died, but then was then cloned. Was he in season 3? I can't remember now. Yeah, no, he was. Remember the end scene when the ship goes into the fucking ground and explodes and he dies, but Grogu puts that force field up with the flames going over the top of the force field? And that killed that version of Moff Gideon. And he was talking about his clones and how he's made them better because he's given them the force. Cloning in Star Wars is so dumb. It is, but there are elements of cloning that can be used really well. Like you think about the Clone Wars and building an army out of clones and speeding up their, growth, giving them growth, basically hormones to make them grow faster and all of that sort of thing. There's good elements of cloning. But see, what they've done, what Disney has done is they've written themselves into a corner, right? Because they need to now find a way to justify Palpatine coming back. They need to find a way to justify the cloning that Palpatine was effectively doing with Snoke. And the best way for them to do that is to get people to fall in love with some of these characters like Mando, like Grogu, like Ahsoka, like the Bad Batch. Because the two shows that have actually done the most in regards to trying to move cloning forward within the Star Wars universe is the Bad Batch and the Mandalorian. But see, this is retroactive writing because they're going back and they're going, okay, we need to justify this over here. This has happened after this. So we've got this amount of time to make this over here make sense. And the best way to do that is through shows like The Mandalorian, shows like The Bad Batch. You don't think that Bad Batch stuff, the cloning stuff that they've been doing in that on Mount Tantus? Now, yes, I know that fucking in the EU, what's his name? Thrawn was using Mount Tantus to build basically a new clone army. We also get Luke, however you want to fucking say his name, the clone of Luke Skywalker. The one that, spoilers, if you don't know, that Mara Jade kills. So I have no doubt in my mind whatsoever that he is back. He'll be back in the next season. He'll be back in the movie. It'd almost be like a pointless. Basically, what the end of season 3 is for this character is the same as what Grogu was at the end of season 2 going with Luke. It's going to mean nothing because either in the beginning of this series, right, or in a completely other series, they'll bring him back. They'll basically spoil the surprise, you could say, that he'll be back. Not that it would be an actual surprise. Oh, 100%. There is no turning back. There is no turning back because they've done so much damage that they keep moving forward, think that what they're doing is actually good when it's not. They're losing more and more audiences towards this franchise as they're going. You don't think Obi-Wan Kenobi did damage to the franchise in regards to the fan base? You don't think Ahsoka did damage to the franchise? I mean, think about it. All those EU fans out there that knew Thrawn as being this unreal, smart, intelligent tactician and character, and then what they do to him in the Ahsoka series, you don't think that made people go, oh man, they honestly, they have no idea. It's Thrawn in name only. I'm done. More and more shit that comes out, the more and more they lose. Comic Crazy, how you doing? Good to see you. Says, hey Rhino, I must say, I hate the time travel in Star Wars. This is the thing with the World Between Worlds. I don't know if it's actually time travel or not. To some degree, it is a time travel thing, but it's, it's not like having a time machine and just jumping back and forward in time. So anyway, it is and it isn't. Filoni says it's not, but the World Between Worlds stuff. There is no other way to look at it. Well, I do agree. It is definitely like to be able to pull Ahsoka out and then she goes back and time has gone by. It is essentially there is time travel to it. And to be in the World Between Worlds and you got access to all different periods in time, well then, yes, it is that. I don't like that because it means that nothing matters. It is a little bit like a multiverse in the sense that you can just change something that you've done, correct that problem, so to speak, with the World Between Worlds. I think it's stupid. It was pretty much created to save Ahsoka. Filoni didn't want Ahsoka dead. It's actually pretty much that. Just checking Streamlabs. We're good over there. Yeah, 100%. It's whatever they need to be. They need it to be at the moment. Let's see. All right. Sorry, guys. Oh, let's watch this. I mean, let's talk about this and then watch it. Okay. So, just wanted to talk a little bit about the Bad Batch. Obviously, there's a lot of fucking episodes. We got 15 episodes. Long fucking series. Opening night, there's the 3 episodes. Then we've got a single episode, double episode, single, double, and then all single all the way through. I am going to be doing my usual reviews for this. I basically just giving you guys a heads up. The first 3 episodes, I don't think I'll be able to get all 3 out on the same night. I'll do them one at a time. I'll do the first one and the second one. Hopefully I can get the 2 out straight away. And then the third one will probably come the night after. These ones are easy. The individual episodes, they'll come out on those nights. I'll have to see how I go in regards to the double headers that are in here. So episode 6 and 7 and episode 10 and 11, they might come out one day after each other, or they could end up being the same night. So we'll see. Let's see. What? How you doing, Tim? Good to see you. This is your boy, Chef, from the Yavin Base broadcast, sorry. How you doing, Tim? So yeah, anyway, that's what's happening with the Bad Batch. They released a little clip that we're going to watch. Final season of Star Wars The Bad Batch streams February 21st on Disney+. Watch an exclusive clip from the season premiere. Here we go.
Crosshair.
Please tell me you've got audio.
Crosshair. I tried to come earlier, but there are too many guards watching me.
You shouldn't be down here at all.
Well, how else are we going to plan an escape?
There is no we, and there is no escape. I've already tried.
Every stronghold has a weak point. Maybe I can convince Emery to help. She's one of us.
Not every clone is your ally. You trust too easily.
Maybe you don't trust enough.
This is fucking Omega. Fucking oh God. Yes, I see you guys in the chat fucking trolling the shit out of me. About 300 episodes. Oh, Crosshair's lost his way, and he needs fucking
Just go.
Omega to...
Before you make things worse for both of us.
Okay. What a clip to show. What are we supposed to feel about this? As like a little teaser for what's to come. Like maybe what would have been better is showing maybe Omega and Crosshair breaking out, if that even happens. Like a bit of an action scene. Not have fucking Omega woman-splain to fucking Crosshair. because he's a broken, fucking shattered soul. Fucking gay as shit. Fucking God. I don't even know how to feel about that. I like the show, but Omega was never necessary. The 4 clones are the best. The 4 clones are the best part. Man, like, even like if you go back and watch one of my earlier videos on the Clone Wars, the best part of the Clone Wars are the clones. Their individuality and their, you know, how they get given their names. Like, their lives are actually like more enjoyable for me to watch than some of the Jedi stuff that we watch in the Clone Wars. But you're 100% right. Omega wasn't necessary. Neither is the other clone chick of she mentions her in this thing of Jango Fett, the older one, the one that gets revealed at the end of the last season. Rex was a better character than Ahsoka. I agree with that. But see, that's just another character that the SEALs clap at. It's like, look, it's Rex. Oh my God, it's Rex. It's fucking Rex. Oh, so do I, man. Hope Rhino's mental health can handle 15 episodes. I don't know. Fucking hard. It's fucking hard. Yeah, Demont, how you doing? So anyway, that's the Bad Batch. February 21st. 3 episodes. Fuck, that's only 2 weeks away, man. A little under 2 weeks. And unfortunately, that's going to stop me doing Hump Day. At least for those double header episodes, double header weeks, and the opening 3 episodes. I definitely won't be there for them. I'll probably get Grant to host them, and then if I can actually get them recorded, edited, and everything before it starts, I'll like jump in and still enjoy it. But it's going to be tough. All right, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. This is another thing that I saw this morning, is that Disney Plus lost 1.3 million subscribers in Q1 of 2024 after increasing prices. It's pretty silly for them to increase the price, especially when so many people are finding it tough. And, you know, streaming services are a luxury to have. You don't have to have them, but they're a luxury. They're probably one of the first things that you'd get rid of during some hard times. So it doesn't surprise me. But this is what I was talking about in regards to the fact of them releasing all of this stuff on Disney Plus. They haven't released anything through the box office in a long time for Disney Star Wars, that is. Obviously, this is Disney as a whole, but specifically for Disney Star Wars, and probably even Marvel as well. Like, they haven't really been doing all that great at the box office with the stuff that they've put out in the theaters, but then they've got all the stuff that they've been putting on Disney Plus, and the ratings for those, from what we can get from them, don't look all that flash. They don't look all that good. For the people out there that still have Disney Plus, they probably don't have Disney. Well, you've got a lot of the SEALs and a lot of the shills out there that would probably have Disney Plus for things like Star Wars and things like Marvel. But you've probably got a lot of families out there that don't have Disney Plus for that. Probably more their back catalog than, you know, some of that newer stuff. I don't know. It's hard to say because we can't really get that information. But at the end of the day, Disney's, man, fucking apparently in the last 5 quarters, they've only had 1 quarter that has been profitable. And again, I'm just going off little things that I've heard. I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, as I've said already this stream. I'm not the smartest guy. So I don't exactly know the facts and ins and outs of it all. But from the reports that I've been seeing and hearing and stuff like that, they're going to start struggling pretty soon. There's only so many losses you can take before that pillow, that cushion that you've got, starts to diminish and get to the point where it's depleted. You know. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with Disney. And then, you know, they've now got this Gina lawsuit. I think they've got other lawsuits that they're trying to handle right now as well. Haven't they got something still going on with DeSantis and the state? Could be wrong on that. But they're going through some shit, and so they should, because their entertainment has been shit, and all that they should be concentrating on is actually entertaining people, and instead of entertaining people, they feel that it's necessary to preach to people. To preach to people about fucking and groom your kids through their entertainment. That is their plan. Their not so secret gay agenda. If you remember that. All right, we've got a trailer to watch, and then we'll go into Seal of the Week. I don't really have too much of an interest in this because I never saw the first one. My sister said it was really good, and she's told me to watch it. I might watch it, but here we go. So, first trailer for A Quiet Place Day One. So, like, this is a sequel to The Quiet Place, but I think it's, like, more a prequel. Day One? I don't know. But let's watch the trailer. Is that John Krasinski? Is he in this? Okay, it's not moving. Because I really like John Krasinski. Anyway, let's watch this. Oh, of course. Of course. Let's just quickly do one of these. He directed it. Oh, did he do the first one as well? Because if that's the case, then I want to watch them both. I really like John. 172, I think it's it. Here's John. Day One. All right, that does look kind of cool. I got to watch the first one. I keep hearing that, man. First movie is great. I haven't seen the second one, though. The second one's not out yet, right? Or is this a third one? Am I that far behind? Now I need to check that. Did you say you haven't seen the second one? Oh, this would be the third. Oh, man, I've got a lot of catching up to do. I got to watch the first one and the second one. But that got me interested. That's cool. That looks really good. That looks really good. It's called Part 2. Okay. Yeah, this is the third movie, but a prequel. Cool. Well, that looks interesting. That looks very interesting. All right. You're about as good as Mozza. Nah, I've watched a lot of fucking movies. It's just a lot I haven't watched as well. Whereas Mozza hasn't watched a thing. He hasn't watched any movies. All right. Let's do Seal of the Week, and then we'll let you guys pick, actually, a video that we're going to watch from Grizzy. Excuse me. Here we go. Here we go.
I'm all the Jedi.
All right. Let's get this a bit larger. There we go. All right, here we go. So we've only got 3 nominees this week for Seal of the Week. Mike, I'm sure that you sent me more. I've just picked these 3. Here we go. So Jenna, she was nominated last week, but didn't get the win. Baylan Skull and Shin Hati are already one of the most iconic duos in Star Wars history. This is the thing that's crazy about this statement, is we really know nothing about these 2 characters. Okay, maybe they had some decent chemistry when they were on screen together. Maybe the best in the series still wasn't great. But we still know fuck all, really, about these 2 characters. Yes, I 100% believe that. So there you go, Jenna. Thank you for your horrible take. And this is the thing too, is like these seals, these fucking pronoun fucking weirdos and stuff like that, and the shippers, they never really praise anything from actual Star Wars, do they? You very rarely seeing, if they do talk about it, it's more or less to actually shit on George Lucas's Star Wars and say how shit and misunderstood that was, and why something that Disney Lucasfilm or Disney Star Wars has done and done it better. How many duos you got to pick from? Anakin, Obi-Wan, Luke and Obi-Wan? Luke and Yoda? I don't know. How would you categorize Luke with someone as a duo? Han and Chewie. R2 and 3PO, Rey and herself. Oh, man. Anyway, that's nominee number 1. Nominee number 2 is Deacon. This is new. No pronouns, but still got the, I think that's the trans rainbow colors. I don't know. Something like that. We need more complex female characters. You bitches can't even handle her. Reva. Fucking these people, man. She can't even handle herself. She's that fucking bad. And then, of course, we have Jacob, who comes through and says, just to put it out there, I genuinely do not care if you dislike certain Star Wars movies. Just don't be rude to others who enjoy them. It's that simple. Well, look, I think the reason why, if you want to slate it as rude, the reason why I'm being rude towards you is because you've got shit takes, is because you do sit there and ship retarded characters. You do have pronouns in your bio, you weird cunt. And your understanding of Star Wars seems to be this skewed, weird parody of what Star Wars actually is. So that's why I specifically come after like individuals. If you want to enjoy it, you can enjoy it. I don't think you should, because I don't think it's really that good, and I don't think the characterizations, the storytelling, development, all of that sort of thing is even close to being up to par. But the fact that you even use this GIF, right, of her sitting there meditating, levitating, and using telekinesis to control these rocks around her, just goes to tell me how much you really don't understand what Star Wars is and what it's actually supposed to be. You're just a weird Disney fucking shill pronoun weirdo. So, they're your 3 nominees. Let's get the poll in the chat. Poll. All right, there you go, guys. Get your votes in. So we got 1, 2, and 3. Rhino's pronouns are Rey/Kylo. Gross. I'm leaving now. Where are you going? Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Take care. Demont is out of the building. All right. So get your votes in. While we're getting your votes in, I want you guys to pick which Grizzly video you want to watch. Do you want to watch woke pro Disney cancel pigs attack Gina Carano over lawsuit? Or do you want to watch Disney Star Wars NPCs try desperately to hype cartoon The Bad Batch? Maybe we can watch them both. We might, like, we've only been going for an hour and 44 minutes and we're pretty much at the end of the stream. So there hasn't been obviously a lot to talk about. There's even this one here. Why the Rey film is delayed. Will it eventually be cancelled? No, we're going to watch one of these two. You want to watch them both? All right, fuck it. 1 7 minutes, 1 6.5 minutes. We've got 15 fucking minutes. Although there's going to be some pausing and some talking, so It's not just 15 fucking minutes, is it? All right, here we go. We're going to watch the Gina
Carano is striking back, ladies and gentlemen.
Pause. Man, don't you fucking freeze on me. This is what was happening just before I started the stream, is I'd click and it would take a second. Look how slowly this shit's loading. Click. Wasn't too bad though. All right, Grizzy. Here we go. And if you're not subscribed to Grizzy, please go over and give him a sub. Even though he's absolutely destroying me at the moment. What is he at now? 16,100. And he's getting good views. It's nearly 6,500 on this video. It's been out 9 hours. That's good, man. Doing a fucking fantastic job. See, I wish I had more time to do fucking videos. I need to find somebody. I need to find like an editor that can grab stuff from the streams and actually do something with them. You know, cut out bits where I'm talking to the chat, cut out the dead air stuff, and actually like maybe, you know, grab the bit where I was talking about like the Mandalorian Grogu stuff and just condense it a little bit and make it actually pretty good. But yeah, I'd love to be able to pay someone to help me with all of that stuff. But anyway, here we go. Let's watch Grizzy's video on the Cancel Pigs attacking Gina Carano over lawsuit.
Gina Carano is striking back, ladies and gentlemen. She is suing Disney Lucasfilm for wrongful termination and discrimination with the assistance of Elon Musk, who is funding her lawsuit. Gina Carano, who was falsely terminated by Disney after they decided to bend the knee to cancel culture. And now some of those same people who called for and celebrated her cancellation, they are back out attacking this woman once again. So John Roca goes on the attack. What a shock, right? Puts up Gina Carano's tweets and Instagram post and just lies about what she's saying.
She compared the Republicans and their points of views being vilified to what happened to Jewish people at the hands of the Nazis.
That is false.
It is
She
false.
clarified in a follow-up tweet, which conveniently, Roca, you failed to mention, have journalists completely given up on research? Well, Gina, this isn't a journalist. This is a Disney shill who's trying desperately to keep his Disney All Access pass, which is why
100%. 100%. And that's what most of these fucking people are doing. It's not about actually getting the facts and getting the information and getting it right and reporting it correctly. It's about how they feel about it because of wrongthink.
Why he constantly defends Disney no matter what. Gina continues, nowhere did I say Republicans were being treated like Jews in the Holocaust. I shared a meme I translated into, don't let the government pit you against each other or history tells us that could go wrong. Now, maybe in the meme she posted, that point didn't get across very well, but she came out and she clarified.
She did come out and clarify, but it wasn't necessary. If you actually like paid attention to the post and paid attention to what she was actually saying, it didn't really need clarification. But the reason why it needed clarification was because of the cancel pigs, basically. And they didn't listen to it anyway.
And rather than accept this and move on, these people continue to constantly bring it up and use it to vilify her. Meanwhile, ignoring this post from Pedro Pascal where he compares Republican voters to Nazis and slave owners, and receiving zero punishment for it. But fear not, because this Disney Star Wars shill has an explanation for that.
Calling someone a Nazi is not the same as comparing yourself to a Jew in the Holocaust. You are fake news.
Provides zero proof to that claim, does not put the post up, implies that it's okay to falsely label someone a Nazi, and doesn't do any research in attempt to hear Gina Carano's side of the issue. And the lies do not stop there.
Then she claimed that the election was stolen, that there was a lot of voter fraud and all this, which of course has never been proven.
Nowhere in this tweet does Gina Carano say that the 2020 election was stolen. That, again, another lie.
And then, of course, she got into some controversy by putting the beep, bop, boop as her pronouns, which a lot of people who support trans lives felt was super offensive to their cause. And so
Yes, because God forbid we offend the alphabet people.
Yeah, exactly.
fucking river.
Being openly and proudly transphobic. Another lie, yet another one of these people failing to do their research and comparing your choice not to wear masks or be vaccinated against COVID-19 to the Holocaust are not political opinions. Again, we've already debunked this. They're controversial, offensive, and entirely unnecessary ones. Glad Disney knows the difference. Do you?
Smack that dumb bitch!
If you want to blindly stand behind this woman, go ahead. But the least you could do to support her is read the complaint, which states that Lucasfilm offered her the opportunity to learn and grow from these mistakes or apologize, both of which she refused to do. Once again, false. These people cannot stop.
Yeah, it's fucking what they basically said that she needed to go through, re-education basically. It's just these people actually don't view reality as reality. They go into this delusional world where this person is like the enemy of all enemies, and then they just go after them and they make up their bullshit based on like they twist what the person's actually said in regards to their posts or whatever, and then they come out and say stupid shit like this.
Lying.
But she was given every opportunity to turn it around and didn't.
Disney wanted Gina to do a Zoom call with 45 alphabet people, any of whom could have secretly recorded her without her consent. So rather than do that, Gina offered to take a handful of them out to dinner, apologize, and hear what they had to say. But Disney Lucasfilm didn't want to do that.
Nope.
Because the Zoom call was not about Gina apologizing. It was about these 45 alphabet people getting even with her. And it would have been nothing but them screaming and yelling at Gina, venting a lifetime of frustrations all out on her. And Gina Carano said no. And she had...
it actually probably would have been... It would have been great entertainment. It would have been great YouTube to have had that Zoom call recorded and see, like, because they would have just gone after her, right? They would have been spiteful, all of that kind of thing. And with how you see Gina conduct herself and how she would have been in that call, you got to think, even if she was to do that and it was to get recorded, and it would just make them look bad, not Gina. They'd be doing everything they can to make Gina look bad, and it would make them look bad. But it would make them look bad in our eyes. For their side of shit, the small little tiny minority of retards, they would think that they own Gina in that situation.
Had every right to.
Because she refused to adhere to safety protocols and standards during a COVID quarantine.
Safety protocols and standards that we now know were ineffective and unnecessary.
Correct.
And therefore buckled down on like horrible anti-vaccination rhetoric on her own Twitter, which also broke her own contractual rules.
This guy has no idea what he's even talking about.
No, he doesn't.
And then these people go on to make fun of Gina for being friends with Ben Shapiro.
Because her friendship with Ben Shapiro isn't playing out well enough? Oh, poor, pitiful her.
Shut up, bitch. That her going right wing to go with Ben Shapiro stuff, and none of those movies made any money. And she didn't make any money off those movies. So now let's go attack Disney so I can get some money.
Come on, Rocha. If all Gina cared about was money, then she would have just did whatever Disney wanted her to do, whatever she had to do to keep her job. Now, this next clip is just sick and twisted and the epitome of who these people really are. John Rocha actually proceeds to use Carl Weathers' death as a means to attack Gina Carano.
And on the week that Carl Weathers, or just a few days after Carl Weathers dies, you do something like this. It's such an insult, and it's a really stupid lawsuit.
That is 100% false. She did not wake up the day after Carl Weathers passed away and said, okay, I'm going to sue Disney now.
Exactly. She's been working on this with obviously Elon's lawyers for a long fucking time, and it just so happens that the lawsuit was filed that day. What, she's just going to put that on pause because an actor that she worked with that's a part of Disney Star Wars fucking passed away? Like, honestly, if it was, let's say somebody else, let's say it was somebody who hasn't necessarily done much with Disney. Let's say it was Keanu Reeves was to pass away and she submits a lawsuit fucking the next day to Disney. Is that disrespecting Keanu Reeves and spitting on his grave? I'm just using that as an example. Like, it's such a stupid premise. And this is why they're just trying to vilify and make Gina look bad when she doesn't look bad at all. But they're trying to do that, and they're trying to get their audience to agree with them in regards to that.
Lawsuit has been in the works for months, Roka.
They're actually using Carl Weathers' death more than Gina Carano is using Carl Weathers' death or spitting on his grave. You know what I mean? Like, they're using that to push their narrative of how bad of a person Gina Carano is, and it's ridiculous.
And you know that. Also, Roka, you are doing the exact thing you're accusing her of doing. You are exploiting Carl Weathers' death to virtue signal, attack Gina Carano, and label her a terrible person. And he's not the only one. Pink-haired broad's back saying spitting on the grave of Carl Weathers to throw a Death Star-sized hissy fit because you don't have the talent to make headlines otherwise. Why are you so angry? And why do you kind of look like the cancel pig meme?
Come on, pig! Piggy, come on, Piggy.
And this nonsense that Elon Musk is doing with this stuff that's so just ridiculous on so many levels, I just think it's all going to blow up in your face.
So you think Gina is going to lose then? Okay.
And they also think that Ben Shapiro's lawyers must be that stupid. Ben Shapiro, sorry. Elon Musk's lawyers are that stupid that they would submit a lawsuit that they think that that's just ridiculous, and you think that they don't think they've got a case? You think it's a stupid lawsuit, so you must think that she doesn't have a case. When they've been working on this for who knows how long, and they've come to terms with the fact that, fuck yeah, they've got a case.
Okay. Me personally, I think she has a very good chance of either winning or Disney settling. I don't think Elon would have taken the case if he didn't believe that as well. We'll see. This is a case that is going to continue into the future. I'm sure all of these people will continue to attack Gina Carano during this process, just as I will continue to call them out for it.
There you go. Subscribe to Grizzy. We're going to just put the link to the video. Actually, we'll go back to the channel and we'll get that link. Go and give Grizzy a sub. We'll watch his other one as well here in just a second. There we go. Yeah, well, we sort of went over that. At the beginning of the stream. I think that she's got a very, very good case. And, maybe it is about the money. Maybe it's not about the money. Maybe it's more about making these people take responsibility for their evil and stupid actions. And yes, Gina's not getting work through Hollywood, probably because of this. You don't think there's some kind of defamation from all of this? I think she's got a strong fucking case. Let's take a look at Grizzy's other video. Here we go.
We begin. I just gotta say this.
Fucking look at how slow this fucking shit is moving. All right. Here we go. Let's watch Grizzy's other video.
Okay, before we begin, I just gotta say this. I do not watch the Disney Star Wars animated BS.
Oh, why not, Grizzy? Come on, man. Oh, it's fucking good for you.
Long story short, I just don't have the time. And more importantly, Disney Star Wars hasn't earned my time.
Fair enough.
However, several of you have reached out to me in the comments recently and said, Mr. Grizzy, you gotta check out these Disney Star Wars shills reacting to the Bad Batch Season 3 trailer. And since I do take requests on here, I checked it out. And apparently you guys just wanted to torture me.
Ventress alive again? So what the flip? What the flip? What the freaking frig?
What? I've got my clone shirt on. I've got my Bad Batch jacket on.
And I've got my medication.
Yeah.
Now I want you all to pay attention to how formulaic and how similar all of these people's reactions are as they watch this trailer.
Hey, mate, there's one thing that I've noticed from watching your videos, Grizzy, is that they do all have very, 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 very much the same reactions to the same moments. They are robots, they are shills, they are seals. They just sit there and wait for the next, oh, he said the line, or wait for the next, oh, look who it is. Self-referencing Star Wars is just self-referencing Star Wars. It's like, look, it's Star Wars in Star Wars in Star Wars in Star Wars. It's like the inception of fucking Star Wars.
So they all start their videos talking about how excited they are for the Bad Batch and for this trailer.
Today I'm super excited because we have the trailer for the final season of The Bad Batch.
I'm so excited for this. Feel like I've been waiting forever for a season 3 trailer for Bad Batch.
I feel that it's necessary to remind you all that these are grown adults reacting to a cartoon.
The Bad Batch trailer just dropped. We're gonna go watch it. Come watch it with me. Let's go. I am so excited. Let's go.
Calm down, bitch.
I say excited, but I'm excited. I'm anxious. I'm sad because this is the final season and I love my boys.
So then the trailer finally begins.
So let's go.
Bad Batch.
Kill me.
So the trailer begins and it's boring as fuck. But obviously they can't just sit there and do nothing like a fucking retard. So they have to pretend to be interested, usually by just going ooh and ah and making a bunch of weird noises.
Oh. Woohoo. Oh.
Go get her. Let's go.
Oh.
Oh. No. Oh. Yo. Bro.
And then anytime you see a character that you recognize, you must immediately shout out that character's name.
B.
Oh shit! I saw Cad Bane. I saw Fennec Shand.
Fennec? Cad Bane, let's go.
Fennec! Oh, Cad! Oh!
Fennec Shand, Cad Bane.
That's Asajj Ventress.
I'm glad you're here to tell us these things.
And finally, at the end of the trailer, when the big reveal happens, it's time to do shill face.
Here we go.
Now make sure you pay attention to how similar some of these reactions are.
Yep.
What?
What? Look at that. The exact same reaction. Sorry, fake reaction.
Let's go.
Hey.
But you're making it very tempting.
Top comment on her video. When I heard Ventress' voice, I screamed. And again and again. Then I started to cry.
Pussy.
No. Why am I crying?
Because you're an idiot.
Yeah.
John Roca, everyone. This is the guy that told us, because we dared criticize Charmin Obaid Chinoy, that we need to grow the fuck up. Remember?
Grow the fuck up and nut up and shut up.
So I guess this is what he means by grow the fuck up. Go down in your basement, watch cartoons, and do shill face. And they always make sure to look directly into the camera. Really makes it look genuine. So when the trailer finally ends, then it's time to make their predictions, because we need to get people even more excited for the show. All right, so this is Catherine, by the way.
Hi, my name is Catherine.
Yeah, I know. We just had sex 5 minutes ago.
She has a typical Disney shill prediction.
Who was Palpatine talking to? I have an idea of sorts, but I don't know.
So because this show takes place between episodes 3 and 4, there is one character that absolutely has to be in this, according to the Disney shills.
potentially seeing Lord Vader in this series, seeing him in action, fresh Vader. You know, what's he like?
she
What's his
talking
skill
like
set
that?
looking like? Hot off of Order 66.
For God's sakes, can we just leave Vader alone? He doesn't have to be in.
Oh, Grizzy, I'm with you on that. And I'm also with you, like, for everyone. Can we just leave Obi-Wan alone? Can we just leave the fucking galaxy alone at this point? Fuck. Why was she talking like that? Maybe we see Vader and Ghostface, I see your super chat. Let me just get through this and we'll come back.
Everything just because the timeline fits. If you want Darth Vader, go back and watch the original trilogy.
Well, the cloning situation, how important? Of course, that's been the prevalent thing over the first 2 seasons. So,
okay, for this next one, I'm going to have to defer to all of you in the comments who has seen this show so far.
All right.
Trying to kind of maybe give us a little background, make it canon. This idea of how Emperor Palpatine cloned himself so that he ended up there at the end of the Rise of Skywalker. So
is that the route they're possibly going to go with this?
Oh,
Are they going to
100% Grizzy, man? Like I said it earlier. The whole thing with the cloning in the Mandalorian and the cloning in the Bad Batch is set to justify Palpatine's return. That's the entire premise of what they're doing right now. All they're trying to do right now at Lucasfilm, they're sitting in a room going, all right, how do we make Palpatine's return make sense? That's all it is. Guaranteed.
going to use this show to try and explain?
Somehow Palpatine returned.
Please let me know in the comments.
100%.
And
Grizzly.
Roka mentioned canon. The definition of canon is the established or agreed upon constraints governing the background narrative, setting, storyline, characters, etc. in a particular fictional world.
Yep.
That's a pretty good definition, I'd say. Now, would you like to hear the Disney Star Wars shill definition of canon?
Canon is always changing. That's the wonderful thing. And canon can be whatever you want it to be.
Canon can be whatever
it's like a social construct. It's like gender. It can be whatever you want it to be. Anything in the world can be whatever you want it to be. Fucking joke.
Want it to be. That is the exact opposite
of what canon
of the actual
is. Yeah.
definition. But this is the mindset these people have to have in order to enjoy, praise, and defend Disney Star Wars. And these are the people that Disney Star Wars is catering to with all of their content.
Yep.
Grown adult children. Thanks for watching. And if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe.
We liked the video, Grizzy. We liked the video. I'm going to drop his link again in the chat. If you're not subscribed, go and subscribe. It's not just Star Wars stuff that he does as well. He does reactions to everything pretty much. Thank you, Grizzy. Great work. Good stuff. All right, let me get this because it's massive. Thank you, dude, Darth Ghostface, for a $50 super chat. It's very rare over here that we get a fucking $50 super chat. Really appreciate that. We all know if Gina Carano apologized for those to those SJW cancel pigs for her social media posts they attacked her over, they would never accept her apology. 100%. It's like anyone that's ever apologized for something that they really don't need to apologize for. It would never have been enough. You know, it's like recently there was that, is his name Ralph? Something, that comedian dude, that young, the one that all the girls like, he's really handsome and whatever, right? His apology was sending them a link to like a special needs helmet. That's the best way to apologize to these retards. Because if he had have actually come out and apologized, like legitimately apologized, it wouldn't have been good enough. 100%. I completely agree with you, Ghostface. We've seen this case over and over again with other people who have been targets of cancel culture. 100%. It's like the example that I just gave. And good. That's why I've got so much respect for her. That's why I've got so much respect for Gina. Because she didn't apologize. She stuck true to her beliefs, her thoughts, her integrity. And that's why I've got my appreciation for Gina Carano. And like I said, I don't think that they'd be going after Disney or Lucasfilm with a lawsuit if they didn't think that they had a strong case. Because, like I said, they're going after a massive company like that. They've got a lot of money that they can throw at it to try and shut it down. So, anyway, I completely agree. And thank you very, very much for that massive super chat. I need to play something for you. Play this.
You'd better put a chick in it. And make it fucking gay as fuck.
Going somewhere?
And I want it lame!
Put her on a path of her own choosing, so that no matter which direction she takes, we'll always be one step ahead of her.
What?
That is so lame!
Yes, there you go. Thank you for that. Mr. Bantham for 2 says, damn it, fuck these people. I couldn't agree more, man. Couldn't agree more. Thank you for that. Canon matters. Of course it fucking matters. Canon, like an old mixtape. Yeah. Yep. Just because something might be a social construct doesn't mean everything is a social construct. That's correct. Oh, Matt Rife, that's his name. Fucking, what did I say? Ralph. That's the one I was talking about. Right, Rhino. Yes, send these leftist idiots the Green Bay Packers helmet from the 70s show as an apology. Yes. Yes. The Green Bay Packers helmet. Yep. Yep. There we go. All right, let's wrap up Seal of the Week. How are you going with the votes here, guys? Ooh. All right, let me bring up. Okay. So, here are your 3 nominees. We've got a tie for last place, second place, whatever you want to call it. But let's see if we can get another vote or 2 in there. So number 1 was Jenna, number 2 was Deacon, and number 3 was Jacob. Get your votes in. I'm going to play a little something. What are we going to play today? Let's see. No. Fuck it, we'll play this.
R4. Pass Justin, spare podcast. Pass Justin, spare podcast.
Red 2, standing by.
Red 11, standing by.
Red 5, standing by.
Anakin, Chancellor Palpatine is evil! From my point of view, the Jedi are evil! Well, then you are lost!
All right, let's end the poll. All right, looks like we're going to end with a tie here. Come on. All right. Show me the results. Why can't I see the results? Let me refresh this page. Oh my God, hurry up. Oh, we don't have a tie. All right, good. So here we go. In last place with 25% of the votes was number 2, Deacon, saying we need more complex female characters You bitches can't even handle her. So that came in last place. In second place was number 1, Jenna, with 28% of the vote, saying that Balin Skull and Shin Hati are already one of the most iconic duos in Star Wars history. And the winner, with 46% of the vote for this week's Seal of the Week, was Jacob, who said, just to put it out there, I genuinely do not care if you dislike certain Star Wars movies. I don't even believe that statement, actually, that he doesn't care. Just don't be rude to others who enjoy them. It's that simple. Well, thank you, Jacob, for that, because that means that you are currently leading, I believe, this year's Seal of the Year with that one. So, congratulations.
I'm all the Jedi.
And there we have it. There we have it. Look at all the Legos. Yes, that's not even all of it, man. It's not even close to all of it. I got so much that's just in storage. Fucking in big plastic containers. Heaps of them. It's nothing. Awesome Lego set, dude. Thank you. Has Charles got to... No, yeah, he's gotten to a couple. I had the little DeLorean from Back to the Future, and that was the first thing that he ever broke. He sort of just rolled it off the... I think it was on this. And he just pushed it and rolled it off and just smashed on the ground. And then there was obviously the Yoda, which is still in pieces just over there. But yeah. One day it'd be fun to just smash all the Lego, just all of it, and then just rebuild everything, but do it from like one big pile of Lego where you got to go really rummaging and searching for the pieces that you need. But yeah, there you go. That's the show, guys. Still got a little bit of time though. I don't need to go right now, but there's not really that much more to talk about. Is there anything that you guys want to talk about? Anything that you saw that you want me to watch? Got any questions for me? Where's Trav? He had a heap of questions the last couple of times. I will say the chat's a little lower than I sort of expected. We've been sort of around that 40 to 50 mark for the last few weeks, and we're down to around the 28, 30 sort of mark. No, that I don't even know what it is. Has Eric ever smashed some Lego? We've seen Charles, but has Eric ever told Yoda to do or do not? No. Eric's actually... It's really funny when like a mate comes over, or, you know, even just if somebody comes over and they're like, it's a bit of a stranger to them, Charles will be like really interactive. Like he's not scared, but fucking Eric, he crawls into my room and fucking disappears. Talk about Hello Greedo's video on how Star Wars is generational. Man, I haven't watched Hello Greedo in fucking ages, man. I don't even know that video. I don't think I want to watch that fucking video. Tell us about the Stargate movie. Yeah, Stargate talk. All right, let's talk a little bit about Stargate and the movie and the show. We'll just talk a little bit about Stargate in general. First of all, I want to say that I think that the series SG-1 is better than the movie. I do like the casting of both, but I do think that like Jack and Daniel, I mean, they had good chemistry in the movie between those two. What was it, Kurt Russell and Spader? But then in the series, like their chemistry is fucking great. Like the chemistry between actually all the characters is really fucking good. But just specifically in regards to the movie, I think it's a really, really, really good foundation, obviously, to be able to build the series out of that. And obviously they changed a couple of things. Like, I don't know if I mentioned this. I might have mentioned it last week. But in the movie, when they're showing Ra and how he takes that child and basically uses... that becomes his host, Ra's host. The way that they show the Gould is actually more like an alien. Like it's actually a humanoid sort of alien. Whereas in the series, they then change it to be just the, what are they called? The symbiotes. So there was a couple of changes there, but I feel like they needed to do that anyway. Maybe when they made the movie, like the movie then sparked this idea for the series, and obviously creating the universe that they created. It's fucking a vast fucking universe. It's great to think that, you know, it all started with Earth, and all the other civilizations that they visit, you could say are basically, Earth is where their ancestry is. You know, they were just taken from there because of the rise up on Earth. So I think that's really cool. The movie in isolation is like, it just tells a really good isolated story. Obviously, by the end of it, they kill Ra, and it was literally just sort of a fluke in regards to how they actually went about that. It was just pure luck in the end, really. You know, the fact that that guy's hand got left behind so that they could beam the nuke up to the ship. Yeah. And then the fact that Daniel at the end of it sort of decides to stay. And that's the one thing that I love about the opening to the series is like it takes place a year after the movie, and Jack has obviously reported that he did set off the bomb at that end. And then the fact that they're going to send through another bomb to make sure, or something. I can't exactly remember. It's actually been a while since I watched episode 1, and we got to do that soon. I was supposed to do that this week, but again, time. But yeah, like I love the connections, the continuity of it. Daniel's wife was hotter in SG-1. Daniel's wife is pretty hot. Did they change the cast? I thought it was the same actress. Let me check that. Stargate cast. Did I say Fassbender? I meant to say James Spader. Fucking, what did I fucking say before? And then we want Stargate SG1 cast. Is it gonna? Why doesn't it show me his wife in the cast list here? No. No. Huh. Let me Share. Oh, it was different actors. Huh. I didn't even recognize that. What did you say? She's hotter in SG1. Yeah, you're probably right. All the photos that I just looked at, though, they're all older, obviously. Yeah. But the thing that I love so much about Stargate, like SG1 specifically, is like there's obviously connection. There's the connection to the movie, but then once we sort of break away from the movie and SG1 becomes its own sort of thing, and they go into all other planets. Because in SG1, in Stargate, it's literally they kind of fluked that one address. They had to obviously. It's so funny. Season 1 of Stargate SG1 is so. There's a plethora of world building in the first season, like massive amounts of world building. And they do such a good job of it too, and the interactions between the characters and how they figure stuff out and all of that. Fucking great. Fucking absolutely great. But then obviously, being that you've got 10 seasons of at least 20 episodes a season, there are filler episodes. Then there's even episodes where the first time you watch them, you think you're watching a filler episode, but then it comes back around from a previous in another season, and the connections are just fucking fantastic. The continuity between episodes, the continuity between the stories. You know, it's like when they meet the Nox. When they meet the Nox, right? And they think, SG1 think that the Nox are like defenseless and you know, they think that that Earth and that SG1 is superior to them in technology and all of this kind of stuff. And then by the end of that episode, it's like, whoa, these guys are just a neutral race. They don't sort of pick sides. And then that comes back in a later season when that chick from the Nox ends up being like you could say the jury in some sort of, in a bit of a court thing that they're trying to. I can't remember that exact story. There's so much in there. But, just the connections between them. I'd slam the Nox chick. Yeah, probably so would I, dude. But yeah, it's so good and so vast. And again, you do get those couple of episodes where there's filler. But they also, the one thing that I actually didn't like with Stargate SG1 is how in those middle seasons there, they tried to, in a way, imply some sexual tension, you could say, between Jack and Sam. And obviously, being in the military and all of that kind of thing, you know, it's against the rules. They can't actually engage on any of those feelings or anything like that. But they really do play it up. They really play it up. I mean, I thought that there was the episode where Tilk and Jack are in that time loop, right? I love it when he's playing golf and he's hitting the golf balls through the Stargate, and like Hammond walks in, or like he's up top, and he's like, "Yo, what are you doing?" He's like, "During my backswing." Like that stuff is actually really good. There's some very good comedic value in that. But even in that episode, you know, Jack starts thinking it's like Groundhog Day. I can do anything, and I'll wake up the next day, and it's so there's one part where he submits in his resignation and then makes out with Sam. Like, I think that's fine. That's kind of funny. But then when they play it up, there's this one episode where Sam's dying or something. She's got something in her. It's not a Gould or something. I can't remember exactly. It's like, I don't know, some sort of technology, and it's fucking killing her or something. And they're almost doing that like Days of Our Lives sort of cut to Jack's face, back to Sam's face, to Daniel's face, but then back to Jack's face. And, you know, I don't know. There was just in the middle seasons there, it felt like they were really trying to claw onto this thing and, you know, maybe make it where, even Sam ends up in a relationship with that cop, with that police officer. And they sort of, Jack is okay with it. He's sort of okay with it. But then, like, you know, it sort of seems that he's coming across a little jealous. I don't know. I feel like that was a little unnecessary. A little unnecessary to have this sexual chemistry between Jack and Sam. You can jump in for a bit if you want to come and talk a little bit about Stargate. I wasn't going to go for too much longer, but I just wanted to, because there's not a lot to talk about, and we've already gone through everything. So give me a second here. Tim, what are you doing? You want to jump in for maybe a Stargate discussion? If you're still in the chat. Oh, see, that's SG1 is not bad. Babylon 5 is GOAT. I haven't seen 1 second, not a second of Babylon 5. A few people have told me to watch it, and it's something that I might do. But, well, yeah, I don't know.
Hello, what have we here?
Hello.
Headphones in, because I can't hear you.
And that's why Rhino doesn't wash, everyone.
Hello, Grant. How you going?
Good, buddy. Good.
That's good. I saw you were streaming on your channel. You were streaming like side scrollers or something. What was going on there?
Yeah, no, I hosted, I dual streamed the side scrollers AI debate I had with Shad and a couple of other artists.
Were you on there?
Yep.
Oh, because when I clicked on it, you weren't there, and I'm like, but he's streaming it from his channel.
Yeah, so that was like 10 minutes before they ended. That was when they were doing the super chats.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
Fair enough. But yeah, how's life?
Yeah, it's doing good. We ended up getting the DVD box set of Stargate out of the garage, and we're going to give it another watch through. It's been a few years since we've done that. Yeah, because the missus. We get 24 episodes a season, 10 seasons plus your movies.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. What's your favorite thing about Stargate SG-1?
Dude, the backswing part, I knew you were going to mention that. I fucking love that episode. But even that episode had so much heart because the whole reason that the guy's doing the time loop is he's trying to save his wife.
Yeah.
And you can see the anguish in it. And then the only way that they can get through it was when Jack talks about his son.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love anything to do with the time travel episodes. I quite liked the relationship between Sam and the Tok'ra guy when they were bonding over the previous her previous symbiote that died.
Yes, Jolinar of Mogsha.
Yeah, dude, and they had a relationship for 100 years, and just like you can't even fathom something like that. And like you can still see in the little subtleties the way in which he looks at her that he can still sense something that's there.
Well, see, that was actually something like even just in regards to like the continuity and the lore that they've created in that universe. I actually made a point of that in one of my more recent videos when Sam is actually using Gould technology when they've never been able to use the technology before. After she's been like the host to Jolinar, and Jolinar sacrifices himself because it is a he for her. It's actually kind of funny because it's almost like fucking, the trans people, once they actually figure out that, they'll fucking say, "Oh, see, Sam's fucking trans."
Well, they did the same thing. They've done the same thing with Star Trek and everything. When you've got the I can't think of their freaking name now. The krill that are essentially the same. It's the same as the thing.
But yeah, I just love that how that gave the explanation for why Sam is actually able to use it. And it's not like she picks it up and she's able to use it with great like she knows what she's doing. Like she picks it up and she flukes using it, and it's like you've got the power. It's like, and then Daniel sort of explains maybe this is why. And over time, she learns how to use it. But it's kind of like the same thing with Jack and the Ancients, right? He sticks his head in that machine, or the machine sort of grabs his head.
His face off.
Fucking, he gets all the information from the Ancients. And then he starts fucking using words that he's never fucking doesn't even know the meaning of. And then it almost gets to a point where he's not even speaking English anymore. He's speaking Ancient, but it's going to kill him.
Yeah. Stargate does a lot of that. You get a massive benefit, but there's a huge detriment. There's always a scale to it, and I've appreciated that in their storytelling.
Yeah, but see, that too, like, gave Jack the ability to use ancient technology when no one else can. But also too, didn't they figure out that he had some sort of gene?
Yeah, he's got the ancient gene, and that's what they ended up using. Which from that episode, they were able to extrapolate all the stuff that goes into SG-1 into Atlantis. The people that can use the chair, because you've got to have the ancient gene.
Yeah.
To be able to use the technology.
Yeah.
And it was through his blood that they were able to synthesize some stuff.
Yeah. I love that
But,
episode too. I love it when they're sitting around the table and they're doing their debrief or whatever. And Jack uses another word for head or something. And it's like this really unusual fucking ancient word. And Daniel turns to him and says, "You just said this." And he goes, "No, I didn't." And he's like, "Yeah, you did." And they're all looking at him like really weird. But see, that's the other thing too. And I mentioned this, I think it was last week, where in this watch through that I'm going to do, it's going to be a lot of like watching the characters and how they develop, but also watching the SGC as its own individual character and that develops as well, because the SGC in Stargate SG-1, you could say, is a character within itself.
It definitely has its own. I think the character of it changes with each general as well. The way in which it looks and its run and just the atmosphere. And I like the episodes like the one that you were talking about with the time loop one, the Groundhog Day one. I can't think of what it was called. But also in season 1, but for the grace of God, where Daniel touches the mirror and goes to the alternate reality.
Yep.
You get a sense of
the episode. Near the end of the season, sorry.
Yeah. But like, episodes like that where you get to see the difference between our Cheyenne Mountain versus, an alternate version. And I think that's what they were able to do better than most other sci-fis was their out of the pocket episodes are some of their best ones. The
Yep.
time loop ones. Oh, the one where they go to 2012 or whatever it is. And it's
No,
the
remember when they
Shen.
go back in time to the 60s?
Yeah, with the hippies and
Oh
they
man,
van,
that is a good episode too.
But
And you
there's
could
the other one
almost
with
say that's a
the
filler episode.
well, it is because nothing happens, and that's the thing. Like, but it was stuff that happened then becomes relevant with the thing they're always good at doing callbacks and call forwards and that sort of thing. And that's what I really enjoy. In 2010, the episode's called. Sorry, I just looked it up.
Well,
Where
so that's the other thing too is they actually from that time travel stuff that they figure out from that incident happening, they're actually able to. Is it in the movie that they? Yeah, one of the movies where Ball changes the fact that the Stargate doesn't make it back in, and then they go back through the Stargate. This is when they're about to kill Ball. Actually, the Tok'ra are about to do that ceremony.
During his execution.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, you were saying 2010.
Yeah, 2010. That was the one where it was set in the future, where they were trying to work out whether the Shen were a good race or anything.
Yeah,
and everyone. But we essentially have this utopia, and Sam and Jack are together, and that's when they get the first thing. It's like, oh well, maybe something's going on, but they couldn't have kids because of the teleportation and inoculation, and that's their way of controlling the world. I love that idea of looking at your enemy as this subterfuge versus
and they've got to make it through the Stargate at the something where right at the end they're pretty much all dying. And who's the one that throws the note or whatever it is?
I think it's Sam. It's either Sam or Daniel. Yeah. No, Daniel gets killed early off.
Yeah, fucking great episode.
But
That
also
is a good
the episode where they get the wristbands and they gain all the superpowers.
Oh yeah, and then that gets depleted.
That gets depleted, and Sam gets stuck. That ends up being a huge focal point in an episode down the track, and the results of that episode affect the finale. I like their ability to stick with their lore and continuity.
Yeah.
And the Great Fall races as well. I like that when you were saying about the Nox, because the Nox one was a really cool one. Because if the Nox chose to allied with the humans, they would have kicked the shit out of everyone.
Yeah,
but they didn't want to.
It's the fact that at the end of that episode, they actually reveal that Nox city that's
the whole city,
the whole city. And it's like Jack then realizes how young they actually are in the universe in regards to technology. It's a great learning moment there's a lot of character work in how they perceive themselves, like the SGC and humans and Earthlings and that sort of thing, and how they perceive themselves in the universe compared to some of the lessons and some of the things that they see. There's that episode where Sam, being a woman isn't supposed to speak.
Yeah.
Remember when they go, it's almost like they go back in time, but they're just going to a different planet, and the women, and they sort of get liberated a little bit in that episode. Another great fucking epised.
Well, another one that they do, another off the cuff episode I'm thinking of, the episode that was shot like a documentary, called Heroes. It was
the one where the SGC's they're walking through. No, that's that other episode. Sorry, the 2010 episode.
It's shot like a POV documentary, but it's the one where it's the death of the Doc. And we think it's
man, that episode is so heart-wrenching.
Yeah.
That episode, you think that it's fucking Jack?
Jack. Because
so
the funny thing about it was,
you're thinking it's fucking Jack that dies.
Because it was announced that he would be stepping away next season. And then 2 days later, the episode comes out and you're like, oh crap, that's how they're doing it?
They killed him off?
Yeah. It's like we just got rid of Daniel, and now we're going to get rid of Jack. It's like, oh man.
Yeah. Who's the new doctor that comes in?
That is the Jewel State.
I can't even picture her or him. Is it a girl
Is
or
it-
a dude?
Um,
Why can't I fucking remember that? But see, also too, the other thing that I love with the character work in this is like Teal'c's growth as well.
Yep.
Right. The way he, it's because it's so embedded in my head. This particular scene, when they go back to that Thor planet, right? I can't remember the name of it. The one where they destroyed Thor's hammer.
where they destroyed the hammer, yeah.
Yeah, but it's the first time they actually meet the Asgard as well. They meet the real Thor for the first time. But in that episode, they're hiding in a cave, and Daniel says to Teal'c, maybe we'll just hang around here until things calm down. And Teal'c says, in fact, Daniel Jackson, things won't calm down, they'll calm up.
Come up, yeah.
And Jack turns to him with this confused look on his face and goes, they'll escalate. And like just that correction, and then Teal'c's ability to grow with, words and he just gets better. There's so many moments that are fucking
when Jack gets pinned against the wall in the SGC when they've got that orb they're going to throw in the thing and he gets pinned.
Yeah.
And everything like that. And he's like, undomesticated equines couldn't keep me from this. And he's like, really? A joke now?
Yeah.
He's like, it's wild horses, Teal'c.
Yeah. No, that's right. Fucking, what a great fucking show. What a great fucking,
And you didn't even you haven't even got it into Atlantis yet, have you?
Well, I started Atlantis. I got, I think, most of the way through season 2, if not finished season 2, and I was getting into season 3, and I sort of just fell off and stopped watching it. What's that guy's name? The really nerdy guy,
Rodney King.
Yeah, like
Rodney.
when he has that, when he's stuck in the puddle jumper, and
oh yeah, the one with where he's hallucinating Carter.
Hallucinates Carter. I do like what's his name's character in that as well. Momoa's character.
Oh yeah, Ronan.
I think he's really good in that. I don't know. For me, it's just nothing beats SG1. Nothing beats the chemistry that those characters had, how you feel about them. Like the amount of fucking Jack is fucking awesome. Jack is so awesome. He's such a cool dude. I love it even in season 1, and I think it's an early episode of season 1. There's even a MacGyver reference.
Yeah, when Sam and that are stuck in the cave.
Yeah.
Yeah, because even in the bloopers, which you couldn't remember a line, she actually has a go at him. She's like, "Come on, you got a stick. He's a glue. You can MacGyver do something."
Yeah. Fucking, there's a MacGyver reference in it, which I think is really, really clever. But yeah, what a great fucking show.
What is your favorite episode? Because I think window of opportunity, which is the time loop one, it's probably I love that episode because I think it has everything in it.
Yeah, it's a
that
good
I want
episode.
out of
It is a great episode. God, it's so hard to say. I like the episode where the ship that they've built, the very first ship that they built, gets stolen.
Mm-hmm.
That's got a great storyline to it. I actually really, really like that episode when Jack first gets that information, and he meets the Asgard for the first time.
Yeah, the 5th race, I think that's called. It's where he sticks
Yeah.
his head in the
Yeah. Well, he doesn't actually stick his head in it in that one. It grabs him and does it. Whereas the second time, he actually goes, "Oh, stuff it," because they're under attack, and he puts his head in there, and they're all like, "No!" And he fucking because that nearly killed him. That actually is when the battle over the North Pole, Antarctica fucking takes place, and he fucking gets frozen.
And that's also the introduction of the ZPMs, which is a huge or ZPMs, which is a huge thing in Atlantis. Also, Ben Browder's character, who ends up taking over Jack's position, or being the leader of SG-1, was apparently in that one as well. So
Colonel Mitchell, right?
Yep. It was cool because him and Claudia Black were both in Farscape.
Yeah.
So, great Aussie sci-fi series if you ever get a chance to watch that one.
I thought after Jack sort of left and what they did with Jack in promoting him and all of that, so I think that was actually really well done. I still liked having Jack leading SG-1. I still think there's some better episodes. You know what episode I really, really like is actually when Daniel becomes
where he ascends.
Where he ascends for the first
the cafe episode.
The cafe episode is really fucking good, really deep. But like when Daniel ascends, and then they bring in that guy from the other planet, and he sort of takes Daniel's place for a little while.
Yeah, Joel. He's only there for 2 seasons.
I know who. It's so.
I know the actor's name. I'm just trying to think.
Anyway, those episodes with him, I think, were still really good. But
Jonas Quinn.
Jonas, thank you. As Jonas becomes more and more a part of SG-1, the more and more I realized how much I miss Daniel.
Yeah.
But see,
but then just as you start to like Jonas, he comes back.
Another episode that's really good is when Jack has been captured by Ball. And Daniel keeps showing up in the cell or whatever, and they have that conversation, and it's very back and forward, and Ball's using that gravity torture thing with the knives.
He's holding against it. Yeah, that was called Abyss.
That episode is really fucking good because of because of what it does for Daniel and Jack's characters.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was season 6.
Good.
So that was midway through season 6, I believe.
So good. Fuck, I love Stargate.
I also really enjoyed the one where they go to the other planet, and it's the very first guy who stepped through the Stargate, and he's an old dude, and they have the main chick whose dad discovered the Stargate. And he sees her, and he's like, "Oh my god, it's a big reunion." He's like, "Oh, you're here," because he's been hallucinating her for 40 years. The young version of that guy was played by the.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, season 1. Yeah, so they go hunting for the scientist who, what was it called? I can't think of it. He was the very first guy to go through it. The young version of him.
Oh yeah, when Catherine's like partner.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, the old. Yeah.
I quite like that one.
That's another good episode too.
Because they had no dial home device.
Daniel's trying to like figure out this. Like you've got the different species and how this is like the place that they come to share knowledge and information.
Yeah, it's essentially the Wikipedia of everything.
Yeah, and Daniel just wants to stay, and Jack really like, fucking come on, stop it. And like even the moment where they're like, we need to get the power from this device to make the Stargate work, and he's like, I've got to shoot it. Like Tilk's got to shoot it with his staff. And Daniel's like pissed off because they're about to destroy all this knowledge.
Destroy all this knowledge, yeah.
Yeah, that is a great episode. There was another episode that I thought of, but now I've fucking forgotten it. Fuck. It'll come back to me, hopefully. There was another episode that I thought of that I can't fucking remember. Man, some great stuff in there, though. It's almost got like there's so much to go through. There's so much to know, and
yeah. But even
have
even
that.
like I remember at the time, I still a firm believer that they could have ended it before they introduced the Ori. I felt like it was just too little, too late, sort of thing. It was just like, okay, well we've defeated the System Lords. Now what do we do? And they're like, oh, by the way, there's a new one from another galaxy coming in, and we're just starting over again.
They needed a new villain. That's Supergate, man. That thing's fucking crazy.
Yeah, that was pretty cool, and it's been used in a lot of book writing as well, like the idea of a giant supergate. So it was cool to see, the scope of it and what it actually meant. But I mean, like even with the Ori, like the having the one where Daniel turns out that he's one of the shepherds was a cool episode and everything as well. Like,
yeah. Actually, some of the better episodes are Daniel related. Like they more revolve around Daniel than really anyone else.
Yeah, let's try. I mean, Daniel was the heart of the series. Like he was the non-military. He was the everyday man.
Well, Daniel goes through the whole thing with his wife, and then obviously Sharae gets pregnant. If you remember that.
Yeah.
He goes back. That's after a year of leaving there. And Sharae's there, and she's obviously back to being her in that. But then also, too, Sharae's death really hits hard on Daniel. And he actually, the whole purpose of him being a part of SG-1 was, to basically try and save Sharae. But then when she dies, he kind of wants to leave. Doesn't want anything to do with it anymore.
You also notice a change in his character. He's no longer just the advisor. He's actually one of the guys who goes out there and he's in the front line. He's shooting. He's lost his reason to do anything.
All of that. Yeah.
Yeah. I also like the episode where they it's the court with Poppus and all that, trying to figure out whether Scar is actually owned by the System Lords. They're trying to do that one. I like that.
That's the one where the Nox comes in and
the Nox comes in. Yeah, I knew you were talking about it earlier.
Yeah. That's the episode that I was referencing.
Yeah, Pretense.
Yeah, fucking great stuff, man.
Oh, dude, Lifeboat. How could we forget about Lifeboat? We're talking about the best stories about Daniel Jackson. Lifeboat is the one where he absorbs all the people who were in that crashed ship, and he turns into the little girl and then the old man and everything.
Yeah.
That was just his masterclass acting.
That's actually a filler episode. There's no reference to any of that stuff later on or in before any of that. It is an isolated episode. And it is a great episode too. That is another good one. And Lifeboat.
And I think it's hard to get a better first episode as well to a series from a movie. I think even though they went in a slightly different direction after the Children of God and Gods and everything, I think that it was a really, really strong start.
I agree.
Because they didn't do any sort of advertisement, because I loved the Stargate movie, and then I saw on TV that they've got that one. I'm like, that scene's not from the movie. Because I've seen it like 100 times, and then it was on. I'm like, this is awesome.
Yep.
I didn't like the fact that the staffs had triggers on it, but I can remember as a kid even going, but that was different in the. It was different in the movies.
The staff actually. That's probably the one thing that they're the least consistent with is how powerful the staff actually is.
Yeah, they're like lightsabers.
Well, when they first when Teal'c first goes against Apophis and breaks out, helps SG-1 break those people out. They fire it at a stone fucking wall and it blows a hole in it.
Yep.
Right. But then later on down the track, they get hit with it and it can kill people, but it sort of just leaves a burn. Whereas if it's going to blow a massive hole in in a stone building, there'd be nothing from here. You'd be two pieces.
Yeah, so the way in which they described it in the extended material is that each different commander and each different level has a different staff that has different power. That's literally all they say.
Still not a
so,
great explanation.
No. And for a great of a series is, I absolutely 100% despise the last episode with a passion.
Which season?
The whole of the series, unending. The one where they all grow really old in the ship.
Yeah.
I hated that episode. And then they find some weird timey-wimey thing, but Teal'c has to stay old because he has 50, 60 years of memory with all these guys, and that's why when he appears in,
I remember that now.
Yeah, it was essentially a filler. That was the very last episode, and they knew that was going to be the last episode because they didn't have the movies in the bank then. They didn't have any of that. That was their absolutely last episode,
Mm-hmm.
and it felt like a letdown. I mean, it helped that we ended up getting the movies, but
That was another good isolated episode when Carter was in the space race. Another good, yeah. I agree with
Space Race,
that.
which one's that one?
The one where they've got to do like 3 different obstacles in the space race. Like they got spaceships and they're fucking racing them. And things, I can't remember the exact premise of the episode.
Yeah. For some odd reason, I didn't think that was Carter. That's why I was.
No, it was definitely Carter.
Okay.
It was definitely Carter. But yeah, fucking awesome. Stargate SG-1. Got to start doing these fucking reviews, start watching these episodes, or otherwise fucking I'll never get through it. If I do an episode a week, it'll be 5 years before I complete it. So
yeah. Okay. That episode was literally called The Space Race. Okay.
There you go. Space Race. It was a good episode. I'm just trying to think. Fuck, there was that one thing that I actually forgot, and I still can't remember it. No,
give me a bit of backstory to it.
And I can't even remember. It had something to do with Daniel. That's all I can remember.
So a Daniel-centric story.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've done the big ones. So
the one where Daniel's dreaming, and it's that chick that's manipulating his dreams to try and get information out of him.
Oh, the redheaded gold chick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does Skara survive?
No, he dies. When they end up going back to the planet, and he's talking to him, but it's essentially like he's Force ghosts sort of thing. Because that whole original village and everything, the whole place gets wiped out.
That's right. Yeah, that's sad. It's amazing. It's actually amazing how deep and how like emotional some of the episodes can actually be. Not that I was sitting there watching them like like crying or anything. It's just like there can be in some episodes there can be a lot of emotion.
There's one episode in season 1 that still gets me, and it's hard for me to watch. Is when the alien takes the form of Jack's kid.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and the father, and he ends up going to school, and like at the end of it, it's just like he has to relive that whole thing over and over again.
Sarah, the kid's mom, Jack's wife, she gets involved in that fucking episode. Yeah, no, that's heavy.
But then you've got, on the flip side, you've got episodes that are just so corny that I don't even know if they're good or bad, where the guy picks up the stone at the garage sale and he's got all of Jack's memories, and Jack has all of his memories of him doing bowling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But there's also like even the episode where they try and set that trap for SG-1 or for the SGC to try and blow it up, and they use, what's her name? Catherine? Crystal? Something. That young girl. And basically, if she goes near, which
one?
They basically put like a bomb inside the girl, and Sam ends up having a real connection with her. And then they take her to that nuclear bunker for her to blow up by herself, and then Sam goes back in there and nothing happens in the end. She survived.
Was she the replicator chick?
No. They put parts of the. Remember, they go to that. They're going to use some telescope on a different planet to look at a black hole. And when they get there, everyone's dead. Even SG-11, I think it was, is dead, and the only person that's alive is the young girl. And they take her through the Stargate.
Niti.
Is that her name?
I just looked it up.
Is that the name of the episode?
That's the name of the girl.
Okay. Jeez, why do I think Catherine? Anyway, she's got parts of like what the Stargate's made out of. What's that metal called? Becomes very, very important in the story.
Very explosive.
Yeah. Anyway, they put fragments of that, and then when she gets close to the Stargate or goes through the Stargate, it starts to create this.
Nitri was the thing. It was Grace.
Grace. Thank you.
Sorry.
And that's another thing too, is she ends up being adopted by the Doctor, and then when the Doctor dies, telling her is like a whole nother fucking thing.
Yeah. Naquita is what it's made of.
Naquita, thank you. Yeah, so she's got Naquita in her, and then she goes through the Stargate, and then when she gets closer to the Stargate, it creates this. And Tilk tells the story of like a guy that portrayed like a Gould that portrayed another Gould by using the same technique to destroy them or whatever. Fucking just great stories, great connections, great continuity. Just great all round. I know that there's episodes in there that I really don't like that one where Sam is like, it's like basically the whole episode is Sam in a hospital bed, and I was talking about it before, but I can't remember, but she's got some technology in her that's killing her or whatever, and Jack keeps like going back to Jack's face, like looking intensely at Sam, and I don't know. There's a couple in there that I just don't like that I could probably skip over. And they are majority filler episodes. Anything that connects, I can pretty much watch. Anything
Desperate
that moves
Measures.
The story forward. Is that what the episode's called?
Desperate Measures.
There you go.
But yeah, like even like one-off things when they had the Russians and everything, and with the other Stargate, and that was the first episode that Rodney was introduced in, and he was done there specifically to be an arrogant guy, just so Carter had someone to do it. But he nailed it so much that they went, we kind of like this guy a bit. Let's just see if we can bring him back for another episode.
Yeah.
And then they said, instead of that, we've got a spin-off series. How about we get him in?
Yeah, it's kind of like a character that you love to hate, but then you just start to love him. It's like,
Rodney is my favorite character in all of SG lore.
Yeah,
100%. Yeah, the Tale of Rodney, which is an episode in Atlantis where he tries to ascend, is one of my favorite episodes.
Yeah. Oh, there's even the episode with Tilk. The episodes you could say with Tilk and his son and his sort of family and stuff. There's a lot of that in there. And Tilk doesn't tell SG that basically doesn't tell anybody about his family or anything like that. Makes it hard for them to trust him when they actually find out about it.
Yeah, because they have to help him, because was he captured by Apophis, or he was recruited? I can't quite remember.
He was sort of captured and then brainwashed, and then they had to use a Zat gun, Zat Nicotel, to get through the brainwashing.
He's such a shit actor, though. My God.
Who, the son?
Yeah,
he wasn't good.
When he started off, but he was all right when he was a bit later on. I'm assuming it's him. It looks like him. But then again, so did you look up the Shalry and Sheree are two different actresses?
Yeah. I didn't even know that. Didn't even know that.
Dude, that blows my mind.
It does.
Mrs. said the same thing, and I was just like, they can't.
So similar.
Because I know the reason why they changed the pronunciation of her name in the series was because they thought people wouldn't be able to say it properly. Because it's Shaori is her name.
Yeah.
In the and they just went, oh, it's Sheree. Yeah, Sherry. Let's call her Sherry.
Sherry.
How you doing? How you doing, Sherry?
Yeah.
Where's your brother Scar?
But yeah.
I hated the 200th episode. That was the one where it was them doing a pitch meeting, the whole episode about the TV series and Wormhole X and.
Oh yeah, I hate that stuff. That stuff's stupid. That stuff really is stupid. You know what I love about season 1 though? The
hot chick that always got naked.
Not only, yeah, well, there's that. But not only did they do a lot of world building, and it's sort of like that first season sort of takes a bit to get going, right? Because there's so much world building. They need to figure out, first of all, that there's multiple different addresses that they can go to, right? That's one of the big things in the first couple of episodes. But the thing that I love the most is actually the recap at the end of the season, right? You have Daniel that goes through that mirror thing that you mentioned earlier, and he comes back and he's got the address, right? And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, there's that senator. What's his name? Senator fucking asshole.
Yeah, he's
Anyway,
I was literally just looking up because as soon as I saw him, I'm like, oh, I hate this guy, and I couldn't remember why.
Anyway, you know the guy I'm talking about, that senator dude, and he's going through accounts of some of the missions that they've been through and how they've nearly brought like a plague to. Remember what that episode where they basically diminish into like stone people, like, you know, the like almost monkeys, right?
It was his antihistamines that saved him.
Robert
because
Kenzie.
he had a.
Thank you, Kenzie, Senator Kenzie. And I saw that too. Yep, gotcha. But that last it's actually the second last episode. It's almost like they're recapping the entire season.
Yeah, it's called Politics, that one.
Yeah, but if you've forgotten something, that second last episode, because the last episode is where they actually decide to use the address that Daniel got from the Mirror Universe and actually go through it because the SGC is about to get shut down, right? So they go through the Stargate, end up on a ship that's near enough to a planet that gives them the address, and then they start moving towards Earth. And then the cliffhanger at the end of season 1 is that they're about to attack Earth.
Yep. So that's the serpent's grasp, the grasp of the serpent, something like that. Yeah.
I just love that second last episode where that entire meeting, the entire episode revolves around them sitting in that briefing room. And they're just going through what they've actually been through in this last, you could say, year of them traveling through the Stargate. And you see it from Senator Kenzie's point of view, but you can see
when you're looking at the paper and you say, okay, we had a team go through and you lost this member, this member, this member, this member. You've had 4 members die on this mission. Next mission you had 2. You had this. Yet, like when you look at it just purely like that,
and then you had to shut down the entire mountain because you brought a disease or something through that could have fucking changed the entire way of life on Earth and all of this kind of stuff. But then you also see it from SG-1's point of view where it's so important for them to keep this going now. They've actually, with the death of Ra, they've essentially already created a war between Earth and then with
well, I mean, not only that, the system wars between themselves are now gonna just be wild. They're gonna go out and do things that Ra wouldn't let them before.
Yeah. But then you've got Apophis who wants to take revenge on the Tari for what happened with Tilk, and he wants to get his hands on Tilk. There's so much. Anyway,
well, not just that, because also Ra kept Earth a secret as well. That was his little playground, and they all want. They're like, well, that's a lot of people to rule there.
That's why when Ball finally comes back in that movie, the movie one where Ball is supposed to be killed, and excuse me, and he goes back in time to make sure that the Stargate doesn't make it back, so the Stargate program never actually happens. I can't remember my point.
You liked it, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it was just good. It's just good. But anyway, that is where we're going to wrap the stream up. I will be doing my reviews for Stargate SG-1 eventually, and it will happen soon. But thank you, everyone, for being here. Thanks for coming on and having a bit of a chat, Grant, about Stargate. It's always fun.
Always happy to jump on and talk about something that we love.
Yep. Thank you to all the members. Thank you to the super chatters. I really appreciate you guys, especially that massive one, the one here. That was very, very generous of you. I appreciate that. Let me just check my Streamlabs really quickly. Make sure that I got nothing over there. We are good. All right, beautiful. Thanks, guys. We will see you next week for another Casual Rage. And then after that, we've got Bad Batch. Start going through that. Grant, you got anything that you want to plug or anywhere that people can find you?
Oh, I'm going to be on this little show on the weekend. It should be a lot of fun on the Full Aussie. So what do we got this week? It's Full Aussie again?
Yeah.
Yeah, Full Aussie this week. So, yeah. And then next week I'll be doing my stream to celebrate me getting my first community strike.
Yay!
Yeah. So that's awesome. So I just hit 375,000 subs. So I might as well jump on, have a bit of a celebration with it, have some fun.
Give me some of those subs.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone, for being here. As for me, of course, Full Aussie tomorrow. Then you can catch me on Flashcast on Sunday, Saturday night, depending on where you are. Other than that, we will see you next week for another Casual Rage. It's been fun. We will see you guys later. Bye, everybody.
They came bounding over.
Fuck off! Disney! You fucking cunt! Put a chicken in it and make her name it gay!
A few minutes? Are you kidding? At the rate they're gaining?
No, what is it? You have to shoot this. Traveling through hyperspace is like dusting crops, kid. Without precise calculations, we fly too close to a store. They're bounce into a supermarket and then...
Yeah.
Be a hell of a mess.
What's that?
Watch. You're losing your deflector shields. Go strap yourselves in. Be careful on the way out.
Yeah, sure. I'm taking very caution.
You go away.
We bounced too near a supermarket?